Hello. How you
Yo.
do? Yo, oh. How do?
I do. How are you doing?
I do as well.
Nice.
That's good. What did you do?
Uh
I see you
oh
changed your profile.
yeah. Well, they did the update, right? So
Yeah.
you got a new name, and I didn't know how the your like nickname works a little different now. Whereas like it was when you would change it, it would be like server to server. And
hmm
now I think like I'm pretty sure I just changed it and it's like linked to all the servers. I don't know. But I don't know. I watched Lupin. That shit was full. Uh, it was
The
enjoyable.
the new one, right? The new CG one?
I think it was the newest movie. It
Okay.
was Lupin the Third, the first.
Lupin the Third, the first?
Yeah.
Okay. I know nothing of the Lupin series, so I hear they're good. I know
I mean, this movie was like, uh,
really good.
well, they were like linking it back to, um, I guess like the first Lupin. So they were like, your great granddaddy did this, and he was like, ah.
That's
I'll always
cool.
be a thief.
I love looping and I love to loop.
So my friend showed me this movie, I guess a few years ago, because I think this came out in 2019.
hmm
Um,
Oh yeah, I remember there was like
and
big talks of it being like CG compared to 2D animation.
yeah, and my friend was showing me, and he was like, "You ever seen Lupin before?" And I was like, "I have no idea what's happening right now." And he's like, "Oh, okay, like you should check this out. It's pretty cool." So we were watching it, and I was like, "Man, like the CG was cool as fuck." Like I was like, "Yeah." First time like I've seen like anime CG look like pretty decent. Um, I'm sure there's like maybe a few other ones I've seen that I liked, but this one I was just like, wow, like it looks really good.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know, we watched like a little bit of it, and like I didn't really get into the story, I guess, at the time,
hmm
but uh, but I was like thinking about it the other day, and I was like, I should probably go back and like try to see like if that was good or not. I can't remember if it was or not, so I ended up watching the whole thing. Um, I don't know if that movie was like really good. Definitely not. But it was like pretty okay.
It was enjoyable.
Um, yeah, I don't know. It's I'm sure some of it has to do with like the translation because I only watch shit that's in English and I refuse to read every single thing that I'm, you know. Uh, but um, yeah. Overall, I like the character Lupin. He's cool. Um, I like the like link between him and the there's like a police guy that chases him around. That was pretty silly.
hmm
And like the supporting characters were all silly too, which it's just like normal anime antics where it's
Yeah.
like everybody's just like over the top and like jokey and stuff.
Well, I mean,
Um,
Arsène Lupin is like a very well-known like thief in like
mhm.
French stories, and then like the anime came out like years. I think it was like Miyazaki. Like I think it was Miyazaki's like first big role as like an animator. And I think director before like he got into like studio. Well, before Studio Ghibli. So that's why like the first like 2D Lupin movie is like the biggest thing, or I wouldn't say was the biggest thing back in the day, but they were well regarded. I know there's like one 2D Lupin movie that's like super gory for no reason. Uh, because like I've seen like the animation for it, I'm like it goes hard, but like it just like there's like a really gory moment that happens where I'm like oh fuck, and then you just hear about the adventures of Lupin, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Would you watch the other Lupin movies, the other 2D ones?
yeah. So I started watching season one of the show because I've never watched the show. Um, fuck, that's hard to watch.
Oh yeah,
Because it's just so fucking old.
yeah.
Um,
You're like, get out of my face, old media.
yeah, I mean the opening to the Lupin show for season 1 was literally them just yelling Lupin the third, Lupin the third, Lupin the third, Lupin, and just over and over and over and over. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fucking annoying. Cool. And then the show itself like opens up and it's not like too bad, but it's all in fucking Japanese, and I was like, I don't want to have to read, and I was like, fuck it, I'll read. And then I was doing that, and I was just like, it's so fucking old, even the writing sucks. So I'm like, I hate it. But it did give like a little like, I watched the first episode. I was like, okay, so like there's insight to like why he's starting. I mean, it didn't really like say like why he was a thief, but it was just like, this is where it comes from, right? Like this is where the actual show comes from. Got it. And then I think I think I skipped all the way to like season like 5 or 6 or something like that. So what I noticed is there'll be a season. So like let's call it season 1 or whatever you call a like collection of like series in a anime. I think sometimes it's called series or something like that. Because if you look at like series or season 1, there you click on that, and then there's like 4 seasons in that season. So that's why I would call it more of a series. So series 1 collection or whatever, and then there's 4 seasons in that like section.
Yeah,
and then the next one has like 4 seasons, and I was like, it's insane how much fucking like shit there is for this, because there's a lot. There's a fuck ton of episodes for the show.
Okay, is it more than One Piece?
I have no idea. I'm sure, I know, like, what is it? One Piece or Naruto has like this insane amount of like thousands or some shit.
One Piece is like, I believe it's in its thousands, or like nearing its thousands. The manga is already like in thousands.
Yeah, I don't think this has that many. Or else I'm sure you would have heard about it.
I mean, I've known about Lupin the Third, but I just never really got into it, because I was like, oh, where do I start? And it's like, you got to go watch the old movie, and it's like, nah. But it's I've seen it, but I've just never been super interested in like watching it, to be honest.
So this says, so I guess they call them parts. So it's like Lupin the Third Part 1, Lupin the Third Part 2, right?
Okay.
And then there's seasons per part. So Lupin the Third Part 2 has 155 episodes, just for that like part. And then I'm sure like everything else goes as follows and stuff.
Yeah. Damn, 155 episodes.
As I'm saying, it's a lot. But I'm gonna keep watching it and see like where it goes and how I feel about it.
Okay.
Because they do have like on top of, I think they're on part 7 right now or something, and then they have like 8 movies, if not more. And then I was reading up again because I watched the 3D movie. Apparently there's another movie that's supposed to come out. I don't know if it's this year or next year, but they're talking about it, so I'm excited for that.
Okay. That's good. At least.
I don't know if I would recommend it. I mean, I think it all really depends on like how much you love anime, and like more goofier anime than more, instead of like a real strict thing, because it's a lot more goofy than anything else.
Yeah.
And I tend to like, when it's anime, I like the slice of life stuff more than I like real strict, like, like gonna like fuck you up, blah blah blah, whatever.
I'm gonna fuck you up, whatever.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's like very serious anime, because there's some like pretty serious ones. Like, I guess you call like Berserk a serious one, right?
Yeah, I mean, it has like comedic moments at times, but because there's a comic relief character. But yeah, Berserk, I would say, is like very, very serious. I would say The most serious? Probably Well, the Vagabond doesn't have an anime. Gantz. Gantz is another. Oh yeah, there's. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, there's a lot. That's all I can say. I mean,
I
I
honestly can't think of one extra off the top of my head, which
like
is like,
serious anime.
yeah,
It's hard to really pin it down because a lot of like serious like anime has like some comedic moments or
yeah.
comic relief character to break the tension.
Mhm.
Maybe Monster. Now that I'm thinking about it, Monster is a very serious anime for the most part because of its plot, because of the whole. I think I gave you the whole plot synopsis of Monster. I really want to revisit that show. It's on Netflix right now, but
Yeah, I think
um,
you were telling me.
yeah, essentially, the surgeon has to like find this person that he saved because this person turned out to be like a psycho, essentially,
A monster.
a monster. It's genuinely like really good, like but it's mostly very serious because it's like, you know, every episode it's following the doctor breaking to a different character, following the same story, and you know, just trying to figure out like what's going on with the whole thing of that bad guy. Um, but I don't think I've ever gone out of my way to find like old like animes and stuff like that because, you know, like you said, some of them are pretty old. The only time I did that was for Fist of the North Star, where I went back and watched like a good amount of like the anime, and it was fun because, you know, it's goofy, but that's because it's goofy big muscle men who like to fight. So yeah,
Muscle men.
muscle men. But I would feel like Lupin's a little harder to get into, especially now, to get into the older episodes. I don't know. I mean, you're going through them, so.
Yeah, I mean it's good. It's I don't think it's anything like amazing so far.
Mm.
And it is again like just old episodes, so
Yeah.
I mean again, it's like I would never really ask anybody to go back and watch Dragon Ball just because I know like it's so fucking old and has way less fight scenes than Z does.
Yeah, I mean, that's why. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The original Dragon Ball is interesting because original Dragon Ball was meant to be an action comedy, and then Z just went full action. So yeah, I can see that. Anything else you got?
Yeah, there's a bunch. Did you watch Sisu?
I did.
Did you like it?
And that was okay.
God, man, I keep battling with myself to rent it for $20, and like I just keep thinking like it's probably not worth 20.
It's okay. Um, it's not. I guess I think I mentioned before. It's not like the best thing I've seen,
Okay.
but it's all right. You know, if you're looking for like big dumb action in a movie, yeah, sure. Sisu's pretty enjoyable in that aspect, but it's not like, you know, Quentin Tarantino's next masterpiece.
Did
Essentially.
Tino make it?
What?
Did Quentin Tarantino make it?
No, but I'm just saying it's like
Okay.
it's not something that I would say you gotta go see it right now.
I mean, Quentin Tarantino has small brain, so you know.
That's true. That's why film bros love him. That's why they love him when he says, "I want defeat," and then uses the N word.
Wait, he likes feet?
Yeah, haven't you seen that? That's a meme. At this
Oh
point.
fuck! Didn't you send me a video about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, where like Selma Hayek or whatever was like he basically wrote his part in or something and was like,
Oh
"All right,
yeah,
your
she
feet go in my
shoves.
mouth."
Yeah, her feet just goes in his mouth, and like every other movie is just feet. There's a lot actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, fucking Kill Bill Volume 2, where she has to wiggle her big toe.
She has a very large feet too, I
Yes.
believe.
Then there is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where a bunch of the Manson girls just have bare feet, dirty bare feet. And then
Is that
there
like a focus though in that part?
a little bit, yeah. There was like one
Okay.
specific
So I
was
was gonna
one,
say like the Manson people probably would have been barefoot. Like that
and
makes sense.
then in Inglorious Bastards, a shoe is a plot device, in which it circles back to the foot, essentially.
That'd be weird if that was like an actual. It would be weird if that was an actual reason. Like if
That's
that's a sexual stimulation for him, if he made that a focal point of his movies, it's like, why are you making sexually charged moments for your movies constantly? Then
I was about to say, like, well, oh my god, there's something I just want to mention because you just brought that up.
Mhm.
I have to mention that the fact that like that Some Hike thing, that is Robert Rodriguez's movie, so it's not his movie technically.
Mhm.
But yeah, he probably asked Robert, "Hey, can you ask Salma Hayek to slam her foot in my mouth?" No, it's mentioned that like the whole being like supercharged to have your weird sex moments or your weird kinks and fetishes. Have you seen like any reviews for the new HBO show The Idol? It's a show that stars The Weeknd and Johnny Depp's daughter.
It's a show.
It's a show.
I thought it was a movie. It looks horrible. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
People like it is the most divisive show I've seen reviews for.
It looks really uncomfortable.
That's the whole point. And
Yeah,
I think it's written by the guy that did Euphoria, and a lot of people say that Euphoria gets into a lot of moments like that of just like being really uncomfortable during
yeah.
like sex scenes and like weird shit.
Well, it's not even so. Like, it's not even that it's uncomfortable because it's uncomfortable. Like, I've been through movies where it's like, oh, it's uncomfortable because it's an uncomfortable movie.
Mhm.
It's uncomfortable because the weekend fucking sucks at acting.
Yeah, he's pretty terrible. I'm not gonna
Did
front.
you see that like whole like snippet of that?
Yeah, I saw the snippet
He's
of
like,
him
on the
talking.
weekend, what's going on, baby? And I'm like, okay, cool, guys. Great
No,
idea doing this dumb shit.
no, just the snippet of him trying to be intimidating to that one
Yeah.
guy. I'm gonna fucking drag you out the street. I'm gonna stomp you. I'm gonna curb stomp you. And I just like, what? I think I would have started laughing if I was in that situation. I was just like, what? What is
Yeah, was
what?
that one guy named Timothy Horton or some shit? The dude that like American History X.
I
When I hear
think,
curb stomp, that's the first thing I think of.
yeah, American History X. You think of Edward Norton.
Yeah, why did I say Tim Norton?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Tim Hortons, and then
Tim Hortons, here's a who.
yeah. Uh, yeah. I keep hearing that the show is like just atrocious. It's just terrible. Apparently, the the series finale, well, not series, the season finale is like this Sunday. But I keep hearing that like each
Wait, is the
episode,
show out?
yeah, the show's out. Like that's why people are like, this show is like legitimately like terrible writing because it's like it's basically softcore porn at this point with like weird
Yeah,
kinks and fetishes.
gross.
Yeah. It's just it doesn't I never saw the appeal of it, to be honest. Because I think the biggest aspect of it was the fact that like it's the weekend. Um and he was like, I think he was a co-writer with the guy from Euphoria. The other hilarious thing, and I kind of feel bad for this person. There was this like Instagram like model I followed, that got an acting gig for that show. But to be honest, I'm not gonna be a guy that's like, oh, I think she's great at acting. It's mostly because of her looks. It's obvious, and it's like that's most acting gigs. It's like you gotta look pretty or you gotta look handsome, and that's kind of what it felt like of like that whole thing of like, all right, who's a very attractive person? That person, all right, you're in the show now. Uh,
Yeah.
but it's like if the show is just written terribly, then
Brendan Fraser only got the whale because he's so attractive.
He's technically, technically, Brendan Fraser didn't like have any other moments to shine because he was viewed as like Hollywood's like big boy wonder at the time.
Yeah.
So, but now like you can see that the dude can act.
It is crazy because like I'm making a joke, obviously, like the whole because you were like you have to look good, whatever. But like, or you said most of the time. And it's just funny because like I think you could probably just like do like a snip of like Brendan Fraser's eyes and like post it, and people would be like, "That's Brendan Fraser." Because like it's a weird thing, but his eyes are very like distinct.
Distinct, yeah.
The way he looks, yeah.
I mean, a lot of actors' faces are very distinct. You know,
you're distinct.
Yeah, but that just going back to the whole thing about the idol, but it's like I kind of feel bad for that person because like they were very happy on like promoting the show, and then people actually seeing the show being like it's kind of ass. And I'm like, ooh, that's tough. That's really, really tough.
It sucks, but like
it's not their fault. It's not the actor's fault.
It never means that like your part was bad. It just means the show's bad.
Yeah,
you know.
It just means that it's just writing and directing. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So
you don't know. You might even see a review. Like that person might see a review where somebody's like, and the only shine of light, or the only light shine, or whatever, the only like sparkle of hope in this thing is this person, or that thing, or this, or whatever. So.
And that's also the big thing about that show. There's really nothing that shines about it.
It looks really bad.
It like not even Johnny Depp's daughter like shines in it.
Yeah. That kind of made me sad too. Where like again, I've only seen like little snippets of it, so like I just don't want to. I don't seeing the snippets made me not want to watch it. And I won't. I just don't want to do it.
I have a tendency to like want to watch terrible things, but I think with this, I don't think I'll be able to handle it.
Seeing Johnny Depp's daughter and then The Weeknd, like watching them act, and I was just like, oh, if he wasn't here, she would actually be doing good. It's like it's actually just him bringing it down, which is crazy because I can guarantee you right now, if I was the guy directing, so, you know, watching this being done in person, or if I was a human being behind a camera that was forced to sit there and record this, I'd be like, hey, this is bad. Are you sure this is what you want? I don't fire me. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just a horrible fucking job in front of this fucking, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't believe like there's quality control, everything. Like everyone just passed this shit and was like, "Yeah, it's good, man. It looks great to me."
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of yes men in that kind of industry. So
yeah, they need to yes themselves into a new career. Got them.
Yeah, but yeah, the idol. The idol is weird. It's a very weird one. I don't know. Like I heard good stuff about Euphoria, but I didn't get into it.
I never watched it either.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I that was also the other thing I was really confused about because like Euphoria was like this whole thing about like drugs, sex, young adults, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it's supposed to take place in college. And I think somebody told me that's like, no, that's not in college, that's in high school. I'm like, fucking what? Like, yeah, they're like sophomores in high school. And then I'm looking at the cast and I'm like, they're like 20 somethings.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is happening? Oh my god.
That was a big thing when we were younger. Like it was always like adults playing as kids.
Like kids, yeah. No, and that also reminds me of this fucking thing for Zendaya's new movie. Have you seen like the
oh yeah, where I saw
it's like she's about to have a threesome with like two other dudes. And like people's been memeing it with like Tom Holland. It's just like this dude can't catch a break. And apparently that movie it has to do with tennis. Like it's a tennis movie. But it's written.
It's all about Serena Williams. Yeah?
But the hilarious thing is that it's written by the guy who used to do a shit ton of like YouTube videos. The one he's most notorious of is I think something called Potion Seller, and people were losing their fucking minds, being like, "Wait, the dude who did Potion Sellers wrote this?" So, and I think is directing it. I think I could be wrong. Yeah, man, there's too many sexually charged movies and shows at this point. We need to go back to the good old days of Lupin the Third. All right, enough of that. What else you got?
Um, sorry, I was just reading something because you were talking about her Zendaya and Tom Holland, so I was like, oh, like forgot. Like, I think he said he was like taking off from like acting for a year or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I want more Spider-Man, so whatever. Uh, just some things that like I was adding to because I've been watching a lot of stuff on Apple TV. Because I never utilize it. I have it. I just never use it. An Idris Elba TV show called Hijack is coming, where he is a like business negotiator, and then he becomes a hostage negotiator basically because he's on a plane that's getting hijacked. It just looks interesting. I figure
Okay.
like I love Idris Elba. I don't know who doesn't.
Yeah.
And put him in like a highly intense situation, whatever. Sounds good to me. The next thing that I'm really excited to watch is Killers of the Flower Moon. We talked about that last time.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was coming to Apple TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's Apple TV's movie.
Marty Scorsese?
Yeah, and it's going to be part of the MCU.
Okay, cool. This is cinema.
Iron Man's going to show up.
This is cinema, according to Marty.
Yeah. Oh shit, this new episode. I finished all the way to episode 4 of The Crowded Room, Tom Holland show on Apple TV.
Oh yeah.
And I really like this show. I think it shows a good amount of like what Tom Holland can do seriously, which is cool. I don't know. I think he could do whatever he wants. He's a good actor overall. Like you can pretty much see that in Spider-Man. You can see that in Cherry. I don't know if you watched that.
I have not seen that.
It's a pretty good movie. I don't think it's like great or anything, but like, of course, like you watch Tom Holland, and you're like, oh, like he's doing well in this thing.
So what is the plot of that show? Because I keep seeing like advertisements, but I'm not super clear on what it is.
He has like bad home life, and then accidentally moves out, kind of, and becomes like emancipated, figuring his way out through life.
Okay.
But there's like a ton more that goes on with it. I don't want to like give it away in case you want to watch it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll probably give it a shot. That's the thing is that. Sorry, I'm a little tired. I had work. That's the thing is that like there's a lot of gems on like Apple TV. I do want to watch that Tetris movie. It's a movie or is it a series? I think it might be a miniseries.
I think it's a series.
Okay, I want to check that out. Like, I like Joel Edgerton or Egerton.
No, it's a movie.
Okay, it's a movie. Because I thought he was good in Blackbird, and Blackbird was one of those.
Yeah, I love this dude, man.
Yeah, so I want to check more stuff out.
I just added that shit to watch. You're a fucking genius.
Yeah. So yeah, what else you got?
I watched Blackbird this week. Holy shit, that was fucking cool, man.
Did you finish the entirety?
Yeah, it was like
all right,
8 episodes, something like that.
Yeah, it's not that long, but let's talk about Blackbird.
What was that guy's name? John what?
The main character? That actor?
Yeah.
Is it Joel? No, Taron. Excuse me. His name is Taron Egerton.
Oh, okay. But I swear to God,
Edgerton. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but yeah, Taron. I keep thinking of Joel Edgerton, that other actor, the other white guy.
No, this doesn't want to let me know. Yeah, he is awesome. I don't know.
He's very charming.
was gonna say I'm drawn in by his fucking looks. I think he
He's
just looks really, really fucking well put together.
Yeah, he's very charming in that show. I think he's just charming in general.
Um,
But I gotta give credit to the dude who's the killer, or
oh my
perceived
god,
killer.
he played such an annoying character.
I think he was perfect
Oh yeah,
because he's so.
oh, God, what are you doing? It's fucking hilarious.
Do you think that?
Yeah. Dude, that's so good. Do that again.
Do you think that women deserve rights?
Yeah, that's crazy. I think you might be the guy that killed all those people. That's crazy.
I did those crimes allegedly.
Yeah, he immediately dropped allegedly, just in case.
I was not born at that time. Yeah, that show is just wild because it's obviously, it's dramatized, but it's based on a true experience. The only criticism that I do have is they set up that whole thing with the guard and the Italian mafioso guy, and it just never went anywhere. Because you remember the guard that was like basically extorting the main guy?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna tell your whole secret, you little bitch.
The guard had nothing to do in reality, actually, but the mafioso guy was actually
there
in the real part.
I think the whole purpose was to add tension and like to add something that like your main character's in actual danger, but then it just never went anywhere afterwards.
They had to add something to be like, all right, speed up the process, or else, because or else he could have just stayed there for a year or two or whatever.
Yeah. Also, R.I.P. Ray Liotta.
Yeah, man.
When he went bees churger and then vomited, I was like, poor Ray Liotta.
He looked like he was actually having it rough during that filming, and I wonder if he actually was.
Probably. Maybe.
Yeah.
We didn't know his situation, but
I like him, man. I think he's a good actor, and it's sad he died.
Yeah. But overall, very good show. I really liked like the beat to beat moments of like him interacting with his dad, and like that whole moment where his dad shows up, like the first time he shows up, and his dad's like, yeah, the guys know that I'm a cop and this and that, and then he just like looks at his dad and is like, Dad, you fucked me over, like you don't understand. And he's like, what do you mean, son? I love you. And he's like, they don't know that I have a dad.
Dad, they're gonna cut my penis off. What are you doing?
Stop it. There's a guy that talks to me about weird shit. I need him to talk to me about more weird shit.
There's so many blackbirds in here, Dad. Help.
Oh, man, it's a very good show. But I think the biggest moment that I really liked, and I don't know whether or not this was a true thing, was when he's talking with the guy about like their mothers, and then you have that moment where he talks about his mom, and you can't, and I couldn't tell whether or not that was the truth or he was making up a story, but you can see that like there's some semblance of truth to it. And it's just like you can see the anger and you can see the hate that he has for that moment he had with his mom, of just her choosing her lover over him. And it's just like, God damn. All because the dude was like, do you love your mother? And he's just like, oh, fuck you.
You sound like Carl Weezer.
Jimmy,
do you love your mother?
Fuck.
The dude kind of does look like Carl Weezer too, though.
Yeah, a little bit. But the whole mutton chop shit, I think, is one of the most
Burnsides.
Yeah, the Burnsides. Yeah, it's just a really good show. It's just really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, there's for sure parts in it where it's like, but
I think overall,
I think the acting coming off the two actors, the main guys, for sure, just fuck gold.
They shine so much.
It's crazy how much that guy looks like the real guy.
The serial killer guy. Yeah. It's kind of nuts.
That red ass nose, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah. He's just the reddest nose. And then like he has like scratches on his face because he has the tendency to like scratch his face a lot.
Yeah,
Like
he also
it's
has like fucked up veins you can see going through.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, man, just really really good show. I if that guy's in like anything else, I would be interested to see him in like other stuff because he's a very good actor. The guy who played the serial killer, I forget the
Yeah,
actor's
yeah,
name.
yeah. He for sure was. Um, I'll probably check them out and see if they have anything fun to watch other than what they've already done.
Yeah, you don't
I
want
would
to
hope
hear.
that what doing that show helped them also career wise though,
Oh,
because
yeah, because if it's like fucking like, that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. Is just like shit being stuck behind like streaming services, and like not a lot of people watch a lot of like Apple TV stuff. It's like I wouldn't say you're missing out, but like there is some stuff that you kind of are missing out on. And I hope like you said, that guy got noticed a lot more. But you know, who knows? Apple TV Plus.
I love Apple TV.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think what else. Oh, Mythic Quest.
Okay.
I watched the entirety of Mythic Quest. There's 3 seasons.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Um, I've. It is a good TV show. It is not the best TV show. It has a good amount of lacking, I think, in the beginning. Season one kind of felt like they were fresh and didn't know like what they wanted to be.
Mhm.
Um, they knew they wanted it to be comedy, obviously. Um, and I think this might be my own like problem, like when I watch something, but Rob McElhenney, the lead guy, he's from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Um, and watching him in this show, you can clearly see like if you had watched Always Sunny, he is still the same guy from Always Sunny. It
Mm.
doesn't feel different really. Um, but that changes from season to season.
Okay.
You kind of feel like, oh, okay, he's starting to get his flow, and this is like who he is now.
Mhm.
But you can also see like where Always Sunny shines through. And then inside of the show, characters from Always Sunny are in the show. Not the actual character from the other show, but
Yeah. So
the
like
people that played.
Glenn Howerton just shows up.
No, the main ones, Charlie Day and Glenn Howerton, didn't show in this, but
Oh.
there's smaller guys that they pulled from
Okay.
the other one, which makes me happy because like it's almost like having an Adam Sandler universe with all the people he brings with him.
Mhm.
So this is kind of like their thing. So
Okay.
like he's just bringing people that like he knows can act well and stuff, and they do. I think like they're doing their parts well,
Mhm.
and it's cool to see them outside of like everyone's a trash monster in Always Sunny in Philadelphia,
Mhm.
and in this like they get to be these like honestly proper people that like are just like they know like how the world works and stuff, and it's not like quite literally somebody eating trash in the other show.
Fair enough.
So it's a cool mix of that, and then weirdly enough, they pull Ahmed from
Oh,
what is that?
Community.
Community, yeah. And you
His
can see that like the show is a mixture between Community and what's it called?
what's it called?
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Like that's what it feels like.
I'm only thinking about that guy's like famous quote with like Larry King. Do you remember this?
Mm-mm.
That famous video? It's like Larry King's like, "What are luxuries that you can't live without?" And like uh his answers were like he's like, "Oh, I love a good pair of socks, you know, coffee. I really can like I love a good cup of coffee." And Larry King's like, "Those aren't luxuries." He's like, "What about like a jet or a yacht?" And then he just the guy just looks at him. He's like, "Larry, I'm on DuckTales." It's like it's the best. I gotta find that video, but I'll send it to you.
That's funny as shit.
Yeah.
Um So
So yeah, you're saying it's a mix of Community and It's Always Sunny?
yeah, yeah, you can for sure see like the influence they have on the show.
Yeah, because who's the writer? It's that guy, right?
McElhenney
Yeah.
um writes it, so does Charlie Day, and then
Okay.
the third person, or maybe they're toted or made as like, I think they're credited as creators of the show.
Okay.
Those two, and then there's one more person that's credited with them. The writers are actually five people. One of them is one of the women that is a tester on like on the show. There's this character called Tester or whatever. Um, she actually has a name. I just can't remember in the show what her name is.
All I
But
know is
there's
that
like
Ashley Birch is in that.
that's her.
Okay.
That's the one that writes.
Yeah, the voice of Aloy.
Is that the voice of Aloy?
Yes, that's Ashley
Wow,
Birch. Mm-hmm.
really?
Mhm.
That's cool as shit.
Yeah.
McElhenney writes again. So does Charlie, and then there's like three other people I think that were like main writers.
Okay.
Um, I think actually David Hornsby was one of them too. I think that's Rickety Cricket. I don't
Oh,
From
I know that actor. Yeah.
know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy it. It's my style of comedy, like the shit that I prefer. So, a little awkward, a little very always sunny. Where like I don't know, like they'll be in the middle of saying something and like McElhenney will be like, but I could definitely bench press you, like for no reason. And it's just like they're like, yeah, we get it, you're strong. Like what are you saying? You know? I don't know. I love it.
Okay.
And they're working on season 4 because they were greenlit for season 3 and 4, so it's working right now.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Damn, you've been watching a lot of Apple TV.
I still have more to go, bro. There's so many things that are so good. What the fuck is it called? It's on here. Hold on. So I watched I bought Pearl and X
Man.
because my friend said they were really good. Holy crap, are these not that good?
Oh, they're both not good?
So personally, I don't think they're great.
Okay.
He was like the way he had pitched it to me was like it's a bunch of sex and killing, and I was like, oh, Rob Zombie. Like that's my first thought.
Okay.
Was like House of Thousand Corpse, love it. What's it called? Devil's Rejects, loved it.
I really like Devil's Rejects. I don't know why. Something about it I just really enjoyed.
It's his fucking daughter and wife are a fucking amazing team of like crazy actresses.
The only thing is that like there are certain Rob Zombie movies that I don't really like gel with. I remember I tried watching I think Witches of Salem.
It's bad.
Yeah,
It's so fucking bad.
that movie was really bad. That movie was.
But to be fair, he still did House of Thousand Corpse and Devil's Rejects. Those two movies are literally so good.
I know there's a third movie.
I think it's Witches of Salem.
No. There is a third movie that's not. It's not Witches of Salem. I forget what's it called.
What is his name again? Rob Zombie? Rob Zam?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the next movie. Oh my god, what is the third movie?
Free from Hell?
Yes, that's it. I didn't hear anything about that. I think I saw like the synopsis for it, but like I just never heard anything for it. The sad thing is that I think that was
Captain Spaulding Man's last one.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Oh, this fucking guy. Bill Moseley. Is he the one? Yeah. Yo, Bill Moseley plays the like brother in that like thing where House of Thousand Corpse, Three from Hell, Devil Rejects, where he's the skinny dude
Yeah.
with the long like,
hair.
gray hair.
Yeah, it looks like redneck
Holy
Jesus.
shit.
Yeah.
One of my fucking favorite actors, dude. He's so fucking badass in those movies. I know, dude's so cool. I love those three, man.
Yeah.
The
It's so
Spalding dude and all that, yeah.
Devil's Rejects is such a weird like sequel because of the fact of like that House of a Thousand Corpses was just like a crazy horror movie.
Yeah, Devil's Rejects was the same thing though. It has like little hints of comedy in
I
it
mean
though.
it's more of a not want to say slasher, but it's more like a maniac kind of like experience compared to like House of a Thousand Corpses, where like it's how because that movie felt like, oh, we're doing like slasher, but also there's like this weird horror elements that shows up because you remember like I think it's towards the end where like they have that surgeon character with like doing surgery on like Dwight Schrute.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
something about a devil's tree or something, and
Yeah,
yeah.
it was like really weird, that movie. But then like the second movie comes out and it's like it's more grounded, and like you're following these characters who are like obviously awful people, but like they're doing awful shit because they're awful. Because they're murderers. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason you still root for him, which is weird.
yeah, I guess especially when you have that ending of like that whole shootout when they're driving down. I think is it Freebird that's playing?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That makes sense.
So there's Three from Hell, and then there's a movie called 31. 31 came out in 2016, and this was like supposed to be his like next big thing,
Mhm.
and it was not great. I would still recommend watching it, just
Okay.
because like it is still very Rob Zombie.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Rob Zombie seems like a really cool dude, but like some of his stuff, like I said, like his movies just like kind of don't gel with me. Like, like Devil's Rejects, I liked it for some reason. I liked it. I don't know why. The Halloween remake I thought was okay. It was kind of enjoyable, but like the Halloween sequel, I didn't dig it as much.
He's like, it was okay. Halloween 2 was cool until the Devil's Rejects guys came out, and I have no idea why they were there.
I mean, because I mean, that's how it usually works when you have like a director who has like people that he uses. They just
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh shit, Sherry Moon was in it. Okay.
yeah. And what, Halloween?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
played
was the mom.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just that one thing of Rob Zombie specifically as a director. It's just like I don't gel with his movies as much. I don't know.
I like him because like again, it's like with Pearl and X, like Pearl didn't have a ton of nudity, which is perfect. And then X had so much nudity and like just like and I know like the story's focused on sex for that thing, but like I don't know, man. I like the way that he balances that type of shit where it doesn't feel gross, basically.
You mean Ty West, right? The director of Pearl?
What?
Or
No. I'm talking about Zombie for he does that stuff well, where he like handles like not putting a bunch of sex in it and making it more like killing and stuff.
I guess, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying about like not Pearl,
X.
X, honestly, because X had that like it was very heavily sex oriented. I think if they would have focused more on like story and
Jesus. Sorry, there's like a thunderstorm happening outside.
yeah. If they would have focused more on story, it probably would have been better. I don't know. It's still like they're okay movies. I think Pearl was better. Pearl was definitely better.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
you again, if you go and watch them, remember to watch X first and then Pearl. I fucked up and watched it backwards.
Yeah, because I when I first heard about Pearl being made, I was like, what? Not even being made, being like coming out. Like I think a couple months after X was already out on like DVD release, I was just like, wait, it's a sequel already? And it's like, no, it's technically a prequel, but you need the context of X to understand a little bit more about Pearl. And I was like, oh, But the funny thing is like there was an interview with the director being like, yeah, we were in like a spot for like basically a whole month, and like when we finished X, we were like, why don't we just do another movie? So that kind of led to Pearl. So I like Mia Goth. Mia Goth seems pretty all right. Something about her visage that kind of gives off that.
Oh, the main actress.
Yeah, the innocent look, but there's also something dark about it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but you hated those movies. Okay, moving on.
No, again, I think Pearl was fine. And like the backstory itself, like for sure could be good. I just think they maybe didn't spend as much time on it as they probably could have to make it really great. I bought Spider-Man No Way Home because I've been tired of waiting for it to finally hit something that I can watch without having to pay for it, and I was like, I really want to see it at this point. Fucking great movie.
It's really good, right?
Yeah, I love that movie, man.
It's weird because like I don't know why Spider-Man has like a weird place in my heart because like I like the character, but I'm not a huge fan of like the Marvel movies. Or like I can enjoy them, yes, but I wouldn't go out of my way to like outright like defend all the Marvel movies. But for some reason the Spider-Man movies I do really, really like. And then No Way Home was such a nostalgia blast that I think I really, really liked it. But Disney knew what they were doing, and they were like, let's hit motherfuckers with nostalgia. So I liked it. I really liked it. I think, I mean, when you got Willem Dafoe, you got to use him.
Holy shit, did he was so good.
Him, Alfred Molina is really good. I like that Jamie Foxx was actually pretty good as well.
Yeah.
And pretty much everyone in that movie was really, really good.
Yeah, I was surprised that Tobey Maguire didn't feel great. He kind of felt like he was asked, "Do you want to do a Spider-Man movie?" And he was like, "Not really."
Yeah, but I would assume they were like, "Why don't we give you this amount of money?" And he's like, "All right, I'll do it."
Because like when he talks in the movie, he's just like, I don't know.
Tobey
It
Maguire
just sounds like he's not into it.
Tobey Maguire is such a weird actor. Like genuinely, I don't think I've seen him in anything particularly great. Because like even in the original Spider-Man, like he wasn't particularly good. He was very flat. But I think it was because of the direction as well. But
yeah, I think he literally physically fit the role of Spider-Man.
Yeah, as Peter Parker, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just
definitely not Spider-Man, just Peter, the Park Man.
I would say this with like such like I have a stance on this. I think if we were to go back to the first two like Spider-Man, Garfield, Tobey Maguire,
The cat is part of
yeah, what? Garfield the cat. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I would say Tobey Maguire is the perfect Peter Parker, while Andrew Garfield is a pretty good Spider-Man because he's very quippy. He makes a lot of.
I fucking love Tobey Maguire. Andrew Maguire.
Yeah, because I didn't like Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker because I felt like he was the cool dude, which I'm like, that's not. I don't think that's Peter's character.
Yeah,
but as Spider-Man, I thought he was pretty good. Like as being in the suit and like making quips and shit like that, I thought he was pretty well done. And then you got Tom Holland, who's just baby Spider-Man. Baby Spider-Boy.
I'm looking at Tobey Maguire stuff after you just said that because I remember him in something that I really liked, and it was Brothers.
Yeah, okay. That I've seen a clip of. I haven't seen the full movie, but I did see the full clip of, I think, was it him and like freaking out in his kitchen with like Natalie Portman? Yeah. Okay. That I saw where I'm like, okay, this is the thing. I'm no actor. I'm not an actor.
Yeah, no.
But I do have an appreciation for movies. And this was the biggest thing about Tobey Maguire, where I'm like, he does not feel like an actor at times. So it's like, why would you cast him in like, I wouldn't say big roles, but like in certain roles that just didn't make sense. Like he just has like this deer in the headlight look in his eyes most of the time, but other than that, I don't really feel anything with Tobey Maguire. But because of me being so young when I watched the original Spider-Man movies, and that was the only big like movies we got of Spider-Man, there's a place in my heart that's just like I remember those dumb movies. I remember them being pretty okay, and I remember the good old days of like that era of like this is Spider-Man. And yeah, like that just had a shit ton of nostalgia blast.
Yeah.
But did you get hyped when Green Goblin slammed Tom Holland through like several floors to the lobby?
No, I way more liked when Tom Holland picked up the Green Goblin, threw him over himself, and he had to
Oh yeah.
like do a flip to do. It was just like the choreographer that was cool as shit,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
he's like throwing him, jumping, landing back on top of him, and then picking him up again and like throwing him again.
I genuinely forgot. Oh yeah, Green Goblin is super strong. Like
Yeah.
I genuinely forgot about that for a good minute. I was like, because that scene when he just slams him down into the floor
Uh-huh.
and goes through several levels, I was like, holy shit, he could do that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, he could do that.
I think my favorite scene, um, was with those two was when he's punching him in the face in like the corner, and then in the middle of him punching him, the Green Goblin just starts laughing.
Yeah,
Because he's like, it doesn't hurt, or he's just crazy enough to let it hurt and doesn't give a fuck, you know?
I mean, but you got to give it, to Willem Dafoe just for playing crazy.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
that's what was so fucking great was like, he's so good at it, and like whoever wrote that too, because somebody was like, the Green Goblin's crazy. It's basically night and day from the old Spider-Man movies, and it reminds me of when Batman turned dark, the show, the movies, when we got to see like the Dark Knight, and you got to see what's his name,
Christian
whoever
Bale.
played the Joker.
Oh,
Um,
oh my God, it just was in the tip of my tongue. Heath Ledger.
huh?
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Heath Ledger, when he was just as like menacing character that everyone was like, oh, he doesn't give a
Yeah,
fuck about what's going on. He just wants his thing done. And
yeah,
it's like, oh, okay. Same thing with like this. Like he clearly has like no care for like anything but the job. Like need to like kill Spider-Man, that's the point.
yeah,
Or like ruin Spider-Man's life.
yeah, yeah. It's a good movie. It's a very good
Yeah.
movie. But who knows what will happen in Spider-Man 4?
More coming home.
Come home today.
Sleeping on the railroad tracks.
Homebound. I don't know. Something. Something with home in it.
Uh, two movies I rented I haven't watched yet. I've been like, so X and Pearl are A24 movies. And I like usually when A24 does stuff.
A24 comes out with some pretty good stuff.
So I rented Lola, which I have, or Zola, sorry, which I haven't watched yet. And then Trespass Against Us, which also looks good.
Trespass
So,
Against Us.
yeah. Can't remember what the two are about, like off the top of my head, but they were the two that looked the most promising from the lot at the time. So I'll go ahead and give those a like good old look-see.
Zola. Okay. And the other one is Trespass Against Us?
Yeah.
Is that Michael Fassbender? Yes, it is. It is Michael Fassbender. Oh shit, Brendan Gleeson. Fucking love Brendan Gleeson.
I watched. What is that guy's name? Who played Mysterio? God, I forget this fucking guy's name all the time. Thank you, Jake. I watched Jake Gyllenhaal's movie with A24 called Enemy. You ever seen this?
Oh yeah,
bro. I was fucking like, I understood what was happening.
It's very surreal.
I think I understood what was happening.
Yeah, that's most of Enemy.
So you've seen it, right?
Yes, yeah, I've seen it.
I'm gonna ask you some questions then.
Okay.
Remember when he's like dreaming and sees the bug man?
Oh man.
He's like walking past himself or something, or like sees himself, and then it's like a bug man.
Yeah, I remember that. There's a lot of bug imagery.
Is there?
In Enemy?
I wonder if I missed some things then because I only saw that part.
Do you not remember the giant spider in his room?
No.
Okay.
See, maybe I looked away or something and I wasn't paying attention. I'm glad I didn't because I don't like spiders.
Yeah, there's a lot of bug imagery in that, but it's like it's very indicative to what he's going through. Because I'm trying to remember the whole plot, but essentially, I think he just hates his marriage the entire time. So there was a thing that I think I saw. It wasn't necessarily a video essay, but essentially, I can't take credit for this because it's not a thought that I came up with. But essentially, he views his spouse as like an insect, like something that he really dislikes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like it's just wild shit. Because there's also this scene where like, what is it? They're crushing bugs. I'm trying to remember. Hold on. Yeah, like this woman is like crushing bugs underneath the heel of her foot.
Mm.
And it's like obviously the whole thing is that like he kind of wants his spouse to die because that's why he's like looking at this, because he perceives her as like a bug and he's just like, ooh, she could just fucking die.
Why live when can die?
Yeah, it's a very weird movie, but it's kind of interesting to watch. Yeah, it's just a very... I have to rewatch this movie because, like, I remember those key points of, like, a lot of bug imagery, but I can't really remember all of it. Funny enough, it's by Denis Villeneuve, the guy who's doing the Dune movies. So, yeah. So that guy has a vision.
Very smart man.
He's very smart. Very smart. He also did Prisoners, which was a movie that I saw with Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh, and Sicario. Man, he did a lot of good movies. Fuck. Wait, let me read this. Fucking Prisoners, Enemy, Sicario, Arrival, Blade Runner 2049.
He did Arrival?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, he was the director for Arrival. He wasn't the writer, but he was the director.
Mm-hmm.
There was a movie that I still have to watch by him called Incendies. That I keep hearing is genuinely pretty good. But I have to give it a watch. Yeah, there's a lot of A24 movies that I have to give a shot. Not that Incendies is a A24 movie, but like A24 has a couple bangers when it comes to...
they have some stuff coming out too that like I'm very excited for. A24, by the way, is that weird thing you were talking about with the Weeknd.
Oh, The Idol?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I saw that on their page and I was like, really, guys? You did this one?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they got to do something. Yeah, like I'm looking at the list of like stuff. Good Time is another movie I got to watch.
That's what got me into fucking A24.
Good Time?
Yeah. It was just like, it's honestly, the movie's not great, but Like
I
it
hear
was just like,
Robert Pattinson's acting is really good in that movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was. He's good in it. Um, I don't know. It's kind of just like the grimy, like raw film style they did for it too. I was kind of like, oh, I kind of dig like this, like
Yeah.
the way they filmed it. I don't know. Also, like the story itself was kind of like okay, so it's kind of made it pretty
Yeah.
good too.
Because I'm looking at the list for like A24 movies. Green Room is also really good. If you've never seen Green
Yeah,
Room,
that was okay.
I like Green Room, but I would recommend what is it? Blue Ruin, which is the director's like I think it was his first movie.
They just make a bunch of color movies. It's crazy.
I think that was his intention. Because I don't know what he did afterwards. I don't know if it's another color related movie, but Blue Ruin is I think really really good. Because it's essentially a vigilante movie that
Mhm.
was like super unexpected. Um, they did Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's also
Mm.
A24. The Vivitch, Room with Brie Larson. That's a good
Uh,
movie.
I haven't watched that now. Vitch was okay.
Let's see. Oh, Minari is also one I have to watch with Steven Yeun in it. Green Knight. Green Knight. I kept hearing that like it's very like it's very divisive.
It was good. It's really fucking confusing.
Yeah.
And that, like, maybe other people get it way easier than I do, but fuck, man, like, I usually get shit, and I don't understand what the fuck happened in that movie.
Okay. The Lighthouse.
Love. Oh, I love that movie. I love that movie. I love that
Yeah,
movie.
I forget. Did they do The Northman?
Probably.
I don't know if
Probably
A24.
not. Probably? No. Yes. No. Yes.
Hold on, I'm gonna find this out because Robert Eggers did Lighthouse.
You're a Northman.
I like The Northman.
Yeah, it was fine.
He says
I don't think
fine.
it was anything special. I think it was fine.
I liked it. Is it A24? It is. Does not say. Oh, Universal and Focus Features. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, A24 movies got some bangers. I do want to watch Beau is Afraid.
Mm-hmm.
But I keep hearing that like it's one of those movies that like you don't know what it's doing towards the end because it just goes in a completely different direction.
Did you watch the trailer for it?
I saw it looked really weird, and all I remember was an interview with Joaquin Phoenix being like, "Don't watch this movie on acid."
That's fair. It looks very like Swiss Army Men to me.
Okay, I think that's also A24. Funny
Oh,
enough.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. It looks like like when like Swiss Army Man does like something and they're like slipping into another like story part to it, and it just like seamlessly goes into something different. That's what that movie looks like it's gonna do.
Yeah.
Where they just keep slipping into different things.
Crazy. It's done by the guy who did Hereditary and Midsummer.
Yeah, I really like Midsummer. Hereditary was fine.
I like Hereditary.
Yeah, I mean a lot of people really praise that movie, so it's good. The rest of the stuff I watched was on Disney Plus, which was Black Widow. It's fine.
Yeah.
I just really like what's her name,
Scarlett
Johansson. So, and it was cool to see like some backstory, I guess, for Black Widow.
Yeah.
I guess I kind of already knew the stuff that they were gonna tell me. But it was also cool to see Stranger Thing guy in there too.
David Arbor. All I care
if that is his name, then yes.
Yes. All I care is about Florence Pugh.
Who?
The sister character.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
She was good.
Yeah. No, I think that woman is gorgeous. That's just me.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it's all,
Mm-hmm.
the Black Widow lady for me, so I don't have to tell you.
That's fair.
Um, yeah, I'm a basic bitch. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
And then I watched the Doctor Strange movie finally.
Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness. And they unraveled Jim into little tiny pieces of rubber and
Yeah.
blew his fucking head up.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why she unraveled him.
And then Professor Xavier came out and he was like, I hope my neck doesn't get snapped. And then
Yeah, I guess it was word for word what he said.
yeah.
So stupid. Gotta say though, man, like watching Multiverse of Madness, I was really unimpressed until Scarlet Witch showed up in um Xavier's mind and technically her mind, and snapped his neck because when she comes in there, she actually looks like a witch. Like terrifying. That shit actually like made me go like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because it's the Raimi-isms.
Yeah, and then when she shows in another part too, and looks exactly like that creepy ass thing in that, and I was just like, this is like, I don't know why they're not doing more shit like that. Where I mean, like I know it's supposed to be for kids and stuff, but
so
that shit was really fucking creepy looking and really well done.
So this is the thing is I remember when they were like planning out the phases shit for this like new shit. They said that this was going to be Marvel's first horror movie. And they brought Sam Raimi to do it. And I feel like this movie is kind of a mixed bag for me because like I really like Sam Raimi. But I feel like this movie was like really wasted potential with him because of the fact that like it does some creepy shit, but it doesn't go full horror, you know?
Yeah.
And the other thing is obviously the whole connection with like, you gotta watch WandaVision in order to understand why the fuck Scarlet Witch is doing this shit. Because then you get that little like plot point of like her being like, I miss my kids. And you're like, what? If you didn't watch WandaVision. So
yeah, I mean, WandaVision's good though, so
yeah. But you gotta be on your shit when it comes to Marvel stuff.
Yeah, I know that bothers you. I don't know. I was thinking about it while I was watching this stuff, and I was like, it doesn't bother me because I enjoy watching all of it.
I hate
it.
I'm gonna go watch Moon Knight now.
Like, I don't want to. I haven't watched Moon Knight, and I'm so excited to go watch it because like it looks like it's gonna be cool.
To be fair, go ahead. No, because like I hear really good things about Moon Knight because of how weird it is. And just like on the Disney side, like I hear really good things about the Andor show, the Star Wars thing.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna watch Andor as well. I added like 30 things to my watch list on Disney because I haven't been here forever. But on the point of like you saying like nobody wants to watch all the shit, right? Nobody wants to watch every single thing.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna go fucking watch Miss Marvel. I'm not gonna watch fucking Secret Invasion.
Oh, I'm watching Secret Invasion. That looks dope as fuck, by the way.
Oh my god! Okay, can't wait to talk about what we got in the news.
Oh no. So on the point of like saying like you don't want to watch everything, I'm really not excited to watch Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, it's a weird movie.
But I'm going to because I don't know what happened to the characters. I don't know what they're doing. And I'd like to know so that when I go to watch something else, I'm not like, wait, what? Who's this? Why are they? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Because I remember I watched Thor: Love and Thunder, and then I watched Wakanda Forever, and then I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and they were all okay, to be honest. But Wakanda Forever is a really weird one for me because like it's kind of depressing and like a weird meta level. But when you watch it, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Gotcha. And then on the same like thing of what I was saying about that, as far as like not really wanting to watch it, but going to watch it, Eternals. I really don't want to watch Eternals. I'm going to though.
I forgot that's part of the universe. I genuinely forgot.
Yeah,
And I
the only
like,
redeeming quality that has is Salma Hayek's in it, and I love Salma Hayek, so whatever.
well, I like Don Lee, the fucking big burly Asian guy.
Oh yeah, that's true. He's cool too.
Like, I like that dude, but it's just like that movie was fucking nothing.
Yeah,
Holy
and
shit.
I'm also gonna watch Shang-Chi, and I'm not particularly excited, but hopefully it's gonna be good.
Shang-Chi's pretty all right. I liked it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know anything about it, so I'm like, maybe we'll see.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, though, that's a banger.
I don't know. There's a well, I don't. Did I post it in the news? Hold on. I can't remember what I posted in here, what I don't post in here, so whatever. I did. Never mind. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, I don't think I put it down on my end.
Oh, can I just say it then?
Sure.
Cool. I'm so excited for John Barenthal to be back around
As Punisher with BB guns?
as Punisher. So everything is still like they put all the shows on from Netflix on here. And they're all still rated TVMA, so I'm hoping that they just keep it going with TVMA. I don't know. We'll see how the Daredevil comes back and what they do with that, because he's gonna be in Daredevil. And hopefully
Born Again.
you'll see.
Yeah.
I do have to say, like, even with their stuff being PG-13, in Scarlet Witch, is it Scarlet Witch or yeah, a shield goes through that one chick and there's blood all over it. So yeah, I mean, I don't see them having to hold back too much with Punisher. Well, if they do make a Punisher show again itself, hopefully it's MA.
I mean, that's the only way you can get really anywhere with Punisher is making it MA because of the fact he's shooting dudes.
Yeah, of course.
But it's like, I don't know. Punisher is a really, really weird character, especially with the Disney merger and shit.
It'll be interesting to see what they do.
He shoots them with laser guns.
I won't be mad if they change it a little bit. I will be disappointed if they change it a fuck ton. So
it's funny.
I don't know. I have a lot of hope when it comes to Disney because they've been doing really a lot of like big things for Marvel.
Wow, you have hope for big corporation? Wow.
Yeah. My favorite one. Say you love the mouse or else.
No, I won't. I refuse. It's funny you mentioned. Sorry, it's just like it's funny you mentioned like a whole Daredevil thing because like I was watching clips of like Daredevil versus Bullseye from like was it season 3, right? Yeah, season 2 was Punisher. Season 3 was Bullseye. And I forget how fucking scary Bullseye is in that fucking show. Do you remember the part of that series of like when Daredevil just arrives to like a place where Bullseye murdered people, but the dude is wearing like the Daredevil outfit, and like you just have Daredevil be like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Daredevil," and then he just starts throwing shit at him and like hitting him with such accuracy, and I'm like, "Holy fuck, that dude is horrifying."
Yeah,
that was a good season. I liked it. And then
I also love Daredevil.
Yeah, and then Netflix was like, "Fuck this shit." Canceled forever. Punisher canceled. Luke Cage canceled, I guess.
Yeah, Disney definitely grabbed the throat of Netflix and said,
"Cancel it.
Your life or your, I don't know, your TV shows." And they were like, "Damn, guess we're gonna stay alive."
Yeah, time to cancel more shit. We got to stay alive so we can cancel more stuff.
I mean, There's no way Netflix was ever gonna be able to just keep pumping shit out the way they do, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's usually the problem with a lot of like stuff based on like comic books and shit. It's just like there's really no definitive end. So
I
yeah,
don't even just mean for that. I mean like
no,
all those like
but
new shows they do all the time where it's like
yeah,
just
well,
they keep pumping
yeah,
one a bunch of garbage, and then two, like when it's good, they're like, oh well, not enough people are watching it. Yeah, because you
yeah,
have so much you're putting out.
yeah. Your content is just overfilling, and you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Like, did you see this? Like, this is not part of the news, but like an episode of that One Piece live action series that they're doing is like one episode is worth $18 million in effects and like all the rest of the shit that they wanted to do.
Of what again?
So there's a One Piece live action adaptation.
Yeah, not remember. It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
18 million.
18 million per episode.
Wait, they're doing a show?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
great.
Yep.
I saw this movie.
Look how great Cowboy Bebop was.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm good.
Yeah. All right. All right.
When Netflix fails and we go back to just watching only Disney, that's fine.
Sure.
When Disney truly is the world, I'll be happy.
Yeah. When you have to say a yuck every time you finish a sentence, yeah, we know we made it. We the best.
That's it for shows for me and movies.
Okay.
I was very excited. I liked watching everything I did, even if it was bad. And then I've been playing Rogue Company.
Okay.
Pretty much nothing else. Did you play any Diablo?
No, still I have not booted it up.
So I can't talk about that, you piece of shit.
Sorry.
Sorry,
I'm playing other video games.
Yeah, but the important okay, never mind. Yeah, so Rogue Company, it sucks because like I'm like slowly getting back into it. But I keep running into the same players and I'm like, oh, are there no one playing this game? And then I looked up online the player base count. As of like I don't know, 3 months ago, the player base count was like 1,800.
Wow.
Bro, that sounds like they're gonna shut the fucking game down, right? Like,
yeah, maybe.
That's like nobody.
I mean, I don't know how many updates that game has done, but I mean,
when they were big in 2020 when it came out, it was like updates every month. The next year, it was still like kind of monthly updates, like League every 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
So I've just been trying to like focus and see like what's going on, reading up about articles and stuff that are coming out for it because there's still people writing about it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the latest articles was they completely got rid of Rogue Company off of the Nintendo Switch. It used to be on there, and they were like, not enough people are playing it. And on top of that, we can't keep it up to date as well as we'd like to. Mm-hmm. When they brought it out on Nintendo Switch, it was more because like the game was so big in the beginning. They were like, oh, like we need another like revenue source, right?
Yeah.
So like let's bring it out on Switch. And it was so broken. It was so hard because like I had a friend on there that played it, and we would try to link up all the time, and like our comms wouldn't work. The game didn't understand like registering well with the server mix or something like that. It was just so many things going wrong. And they I think still have those problems. It's been 2.5 years, something like that, since I've been playing this game, and coming back to it, they still have issues from when I fucking played on launch. That similar issues that like were still present then are now still present, and I'm like, what the fuck have you been doing? And it's just one of those things. Like, I think like they put a bunch of characters out, and they were like, well, not enough people are playing it. Let's go work on something else.
Yeah, I mean it's possible.
Yep. And it's fine. Like games are gonna die, whatever. But I do particularly think that this game is good, and
I think not enough people are playing it, and I also think they're not giving it enough love. Like it really needs like some quality of life updates.
Yeah.
Um, real simple like tweaks to like make your movement more fluid, and some like visuals would be good too.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Whatever.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Well, that's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, you do you. So is that it for your 2 weeks?
Yep.
Wow. Can't believe you hate. Not even Diablo? You put that down?
I told you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I told you to stop playing.
That's true. All right. Maybe I'll start up and get to 109 hours.
I don't think you will.
No, I won't. I definitely won't. With the amount of shit that's out, I definitely won't. Fucking this month has been rough. Cause
It
fucking,
sucks to say there's better games to play.
I mean, I got my fucking copy of Final Fantasy 16. I have not booted it up because I keep hearing stories about how like the game is so like performance intensive that like some people's PS5s are overheating. So I gotta clean the fuck out of my PS5 before
Did you buy it on PS5?
Yeah, I bought it on PS5. It's the only thing that's out for it now.
Oh, I thought it was PC. Sorry.
It was planned to be PC, but like I don't think they have an idea when they're gonna put it out because it's PS5 exclusive as of now.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I just gotta clean the fuck out of my PS5. As for stuff that I guess I would do stuff that I played because it's not really that much. Well, no, actually, reverse that. I'm just gonna say the stuff that I watched. Fuck it. What did I watch? What did I watch, bro? What do watch?
Step bro.
So
What I watch?
I watched Timothée Chalamet and Robert Pattinson in The King.
Okay.
It's a good movie. It's a really good movie. It's on Netflix. Recommended. Big recommend. I like that Timothée Chalamet. That's why it was funny talking about like Johnny Depp's daughter because she's in it, but she's like literally towards the end. But yeah, if you like, movies about an upcoming king in medieval times proving himself to be a fierce warrior, that's one of the movies I recommend. Funny enough, done by the production company that Brad Pitt is a part of. Plan B, I think it's called. So, yeah, do with that as you will. The next thing I watched is one of the Wes Anderson movies I haven't watched, called The Darjeeling Limited. I like that movie. I just like Wes Anderson movies. I do want.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, I still got to see Rushmore, but the movie that came out recently was Asteroid City. So yeah, that's on my watch list. And then I watched Hot Fuzz. I rewatched it actually. Cuz I remember I mentioned on the Discord that I was like, "Oh yeah, the Cornetto trilogy is out on Amazon." So I rewatched Hot Fuzz. I like that movie. I think I like it a little bit more than Shaun of the Dead, but I would have to rewatch Shaun of the Dead. So I don't know how you feel about the Cornetto trilogy.
Really like Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz.
Shaun of the Dead was okay.
Okay. And then The World's End, which is the other movie for the Cornetto trilogy, where the guys.
That was a good one too.
Yeah. It was enjoyable. And then the biggest thing that I watched, finally, after years of not watching it, Interstellar. Christopher Nolan's sci-fi masterpiece. Did you watch it?
I watched it.
You watched it? What did you think about his sci-fi masterpiece?
It's not a masterpiece.
Wow, so you hate it? You saying Christopher Nolan is bad?
Yeah.
Wow. How can you be so brave, but yet speak the truth?
I mean, The movie wasn't terrible. It just wasn't like movie of the year, all that stuff. It just wasn't that great.
I liked it. I liked it. I actually teared up towards the end because of that moment. I liked it.
What, you love the movie?
What?
Did you love the movie?
I really on like a like to love ratio, I would put it like in between love and like.
Is Interstellar the Brad Pitt movie?
No, that's Ad Astra, dummy.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different movie then.
You big dummy. That's Ad Astra.
The fuck is Interstellar?
Interstellar is the one with Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, I can't spell. Hold on.
Christ.
Stellar.
Because I know Ad Astra. I didn't watch it, but I know the whole plot point where it's fucking Brad Pitt chasing after Tommy Lee Jones on the moon.
Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee, your face.
Motherfucker coming out here being like, that wasn't a good movie. Oh, wrong movie.
Well, I mean, there's goddamn fucking a million fucking movies of people in space doing dumb shit, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Sandra Bullock whirl around in gravity.
Oh, this is the fucking dumbass movie where he's like in the bookcase at the end, and it's like,
yeah, that shit was a little dumb. Not gonna front. That shit was a little dumb. But
I mean, it's a fine movie. Again, I don't
liked
think this is like the best movie.
I liked it. I thought it was really, really interesting with like what
Ad
it was
Astra
doing.
for sure was worse, by the way.
Yeah, I heard it was not really that good.
What?
I should watch it so we could talk about Tommy Lee Jones and Brad
so we
Pitt.
can compare, and then you can be like, "Are you fucking dumb? Like, this is clearly the worst movie."
I liked it. You watched it, right? You watched Interstellar. I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched it.
Do you okay? So you remember the whole thing about the bookshelf? I liked it. Like I said, I teared up like towards the end, because of the whole thing. Because I think the biggest thing that I felt like emotion towards was essentially the sense of just overwhelming dread that I felt with Matthew McConaughey, of him realizing that like he has missed like, what was it, like every hour that they were on a planet, it was like 20 something years, like 20, almost 27 years or something like that. And it's just like him being like, let me watch all of the video clips of like what my family left. And then he watches all of them and he just sees that like his kids' lives are just like growing and like they're getting married and like children and stuff is happening like that. And the whole thing with his daughter, where his daughter essentially hates him for leaving, and she's held that grudge ever since. But then you start to see his face being like, I have missed so much because of this mission. And then you just have him just crying, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like there's something about that where it's just like there's something that's just existential. Like it's like an existential nightmare of just like the world that you knew is changing and you're just gone for like an hour. It's I don't know, there's something about that where it's just like it's creepy. It's, for me, it's like super creepy. But you have that whole thing with Matt Damon showing up being like for the greater good, because what was the whole thing? It was like their plan was to expand Earth, well, not expand humanity, in the sense they had like two plans. Either find a planet that can host life on it, or find that can host life and bring people there. That was plan A. Or plan B, find the hospitable planet, but essentially just start humanity all over again. And it's just like, okay, these guys are going to try as much as they can to like get people to the planet. And then you got Matt Damon being like, yeah, plan A wasn't a real plan. Like, humanity's just fucked. And then you just have that other moment of existential dread where like the daughter character played by Jessica Chastain is like talking to the doctor, the professor that did the whole NASA plan, and he reveals to her that like your dad didn't have to leave, and she was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, there was no plan A, like nobody's leaving this planet, like we're all just gonna die here. And then you just have her just like fucking like distraught of just like this whole time we just been living a lie essentially. And then she sends that final message to her dad being like, you left us here to die, like you just left me here to suffocate. And it's just like fucking hell. And you're like, yeah, it's like there's a lot of moments of just like that, of just like, what, you know, obviously it's a science fiction movie, but there's a lot of real elements to it, you know, like the whole thing of like the planet dying and like the possible venture into space, and like there's things that are in space that we just don't understand. You know, and that whole concept of time is relative, of just like them explaining the whole like like the whole rotation of a planet, of like how what time is on a planet. It's just very interesting concepts within that movie. But I have to admit, and yes, you're right, the book shit is it's super goofy, but they tried to like explain how that works, and even then I was just like, I don't know about that. Yeah, it's just like stuff like that was very, very goofy. But you know, like I said, towards the end of the movie I was really tearing up when like he was found, and essentially his daughter was a fucking like 80-year-old woman on her deathbed, and he's
Poor
just
Sonny.
yeah, and she's like, oh daddy, I've missed you. And he's like, I'm so sorry. But then she has that moment with him, she's like, no parent should watch their children die, so
But watch.
no, she's just like, you can go, like I have my kids here with me, I have people that, you know, can stay with me, so go do you, because you've worried for me for so long.
Go
that-
become space cowboy again.
Yeah, go become space cowboy and go find Anne Hathaway. Like that's essentially just it. And I was just like, oh, that's very tender and that's very sweet. And then yeah, I like the movie. Sorry it wasn't Brad Pitt shooting at Tommy Lee Jones on the moon.
It wasn't, man. I can't believe it's not even, you know. Way better movie, Tommy Lee Jones getting all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
Yeah. So yeah, I liked Interstellar. I really enjoyed it. I like the concepts. I'm very curious about Tenet, but I hear that the audio mixing for that movie is dog shit, and I hear that was a creative choice by Christopher Nolan. So I don't know, I'm a little hesitant on that. And then
I haven't
obviously,
watched it, so I don't know.
yeah. But then obviously the biggest movie that's coming out by Christopher Nolan is Oppenheimer, with that Cillian Murphy.
That shit look cool.
Yeah, when Cillian comes to the front of the stage and is like, I am become death, destroyer of worlds. And then you're reminded that Barbie is coming out the same day, and you're like, okay, that's cool. Barbieheimer. Barbieheimer. Yeah, I don't know. Christopher Nolan's a weird like director for me personally, because it's like, yeah, I like the Batman movies, but I wouldn't say I was a huge fan of the Batman movies.
Mhm.
What is it? Fuck, what is that movie called? The one with Guy Pearce in it? Memento? Yeah, that's what it was. I thought that movie was okay. You know, I know people really, really like that movie, but it's okay. What was the other one? The one with Hugh Jackman and
Huge Jacksman. I love him.
yeah, Hugh Jackman and was it Edward Norton? No, it was Christian Bale. It was Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale. The Prestige, I think it was.
Yeah, The Prestige is old as fuck.
Yeah, 2006. Yeah, Memento. Oh, Insomnia. Okay. To be fair, Insomnia is pretty good. Even though that's an American, well, it's a English American remake of a Swedish movie or Norwegian movie. That's a very good movie. You know why? Because Robin Williams is really fucking creepy in that movie.
Yeah.
And yeah,
The Wingman.
Batman, Inception. Dunkirk was pretty good. I like Dunkirk. But yeah, Interstellar. So the last thing that I watched, I finished the second season of Vinland Saga. It's good. Can't wait till the next season. That's all I got. But the one thing I want to mention is that I have been making some purchases for some physical media. So I got a couple of things. Some physical Blu-rays of some Kamen Rider shows and some Ultraman shows.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I didn't realize that a Blu-ray manufacturing company is like doing physical releases of like English subbed like Kamen Rider and Ultraman. So that's fucking cool that like people actually have the opportunity to watch these series, because before the way that I watched it was through downloading through torrents and shit like that. And it's cool. It's just really neat to see that, like, you know, it exists on physical media in the West. So I bought some copies of I bought a copy of Kamen Rider Kuga, Kamen Rider Ryuki, Kamen Rider Black, and I got Ultraman Q and the other Ultraman show. I never watched Ultraman. I have no idea. I kind of want to watch them because of the fact that Shin Ultraman movie is coming out. And then obviously, I think next month the Shin Kamen Rider movie is coming out on Amazon Prime. So there's that. Tokusatsu. Yeah.
That's dope though.
Yeah. But there's also a thing that like I'm debating whether or not to watch the Kamen Rider shows like by myself, or if I should ask somebody to watch it with me. Because I was gonna ask my cousin if she wanted to watch it with me. Because usually that's how me and her like kind of bond, is just watching random shit. But I'll see. And what else? Oh, I rewatched Into the Spider-Verse. I don't know why. I just had an urge to rewatch Into the Spider-Verse. That's a really good movie. Still.
Oh, the first one, right?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
That's still genuinely really good. And yeah, I think that's it for stuff that I watched. Now, stuff that I played and am playing. All right. I beat the GOATY of when it came out. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Yo. That's a good tactics game.
Mm.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Not too harsh, but not too easy.
Yeah.
The final battle is actually kind of cool. I don't know. I don't know if I should spoil it or what it is.
No, I mean, I don't care.
All right. It's Bowser, but like possessed by a weird digital thing.
Oops,
So he's like,
shouldn't have told me. Can't believe you spoiled.
so he's like this like super Bowser. And yeah, there's just like really some neat stuff that happens in that boss. That final boss battle was like kind of tough for me because like I had to obviously do things strategically. But overall, pretty fun. I just started the Donkey Kong campaign, but I haven't gotten too far into it. But yeah, I would say I recommend if you're looking for like an XCOM or like a tactics RPG like game that's not too crazy in its mechanics, I would say play that. I am curious about the second game, Sparks of Hope, because I hear that is pretty good as well, and it changes some of the mechanics. of the game. But yeah, I genuinely I think they had a lot of fun making Mario plus Rabbids, because Rabbids is such a weird IP. It's such a weird thing to even think of, but Mario is fun, and then some of like the tactics stuff that you can do with Mario is pretty neat. Where you can like use your partner in battle to like make you jump in the air and then stomp on dudes, or like you have Yoshi's butt pound, where like it does like radial damage, or like yeah, it's just like really neat stuff gameplay wise.
Yeah.
And the second thing that I finished is the second Splinter Cell game, Pandora Tomorrow. I liked it. I thought a lot of the stuff that they did was a lot better than the first game, especially at the fact that you have this little like meter telling you how stealthy you are, like whether or not you're in a dark area or in a light area. But the biggest issues I've been having with the first two Splinter Cell games is that every time there's always a moment that I have of just like yelling at the TV screen, what did I do, or what am I doing wrong? Because there's a lot of moments where I just get caught or the enemy hears me. And it's just like, it gets like, and that was, well, yeah, kind of infuriating. There was a moment where like towards the final level, I was trying to make sure that I wasn't detected at all, because I think the final level, you only have like one chance to get an alarm. No, if you get one alarm, it's basically restarted the checkpoint. Because the one upgrade that they did in the second game is there's a 3 strikes you're out kind of thing, where it's like if you get detected for a third time, you basically have to reload at the checkpoint. But you have the opportunity to bring down the detection meter back to 0. So basically, if you get detected twice and you're pretty much a ghost the entire rest of the level, the meter, or like the alarm goes all the way back to 0. So then you're fine if you want to make any more mistakes. But yeah, there was a bug that happened towards the last level where just some NPC was like out of their chair and kept saying, I think I hear something, and kept going towards my area, like of just where I was, but didn't detect me. And then it went back to like their seating position. And then as I was like going farther down, it just kept doing the same thing of just like, I think I hear something. And then not going in the same direction as I was going in. It was just going into a random direction. And then afterwards be like, oh, I guess it was nothing. And then just go turn around and then turn back around and be like, I think I heard something. And I'm like, I'm already like the far end of the hallway. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I thought legitimately like, I thought it was going to ruin the end of me playing the game. It would just be like, this fucking NPC won't shut the fuck up. Like it just bugged the shit out of me. But there was a lot of cool like set pieces level wise of like a train level. There was also like a another particular level that the end level actually has a really cool moment where it's like you have to find this terrorist leader who's about to set off a fucking can't believe this shit is topical, but like it is about to set out a deadly virus out in an airport, I think in LAX. And the funny thing is his mercenaries took a an antidote, or like took a what's it called, a vaccine, but essentially the only way to detect the mercenaries is that their body heat temperature has risen up, so they're a lot hotter than the rest of the other people. So you basically have to use your thermal vision to find them and kill them. And I thought that was pretty cool, where it's just like, oh, kill them, hide the bodies, and like basically try to maneuver around and like ensure that you don't get caught. So I thought that was pretty cool, where it's just like find the mercenaries. but it kind of ends really anticlimactically, where your main character is like, job well done, and then that's it. But the weirdest fucking thing is that there's a little like there's like a little paragraph towards I think at the end of the credits, where it's like there are a bunch of other bombs still out there, but that's left for another group that your main character is a part of. So I'm like, huh, that's weird. So then I was like, oh, this game has multiplayer. Let me just jump into the multiplayer. So that little ending paragraph thing was a setup for the multiplayer, where essentially it's spies versus mercs, and your job as a spy is to find those bombs and deactivate them, while mercs are trying to stop the spies from deactivating the bombs. It was really weird. And like some of the mechanics are much different from the base game, where I was like, what is happening? And this was like early 2000s of like games trying to figure out first person shooting, and they didn't really have it like down yet. So that first person shooting is for mercenaries, and it's like it's really clunky. It's really, really clunky. While with spies, it's third person. Yeah, Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow is an interesting game, but like I said, I've had infuriating moments with those first two games, but I keep hearing that the third one is actually legitimately pretty good. Chaos Theory, I think it's called. So I'll probably give that a shot, because I do want to go through all the games. I even bought the Xbox original and the Xbox 360 version of Double Agent, which apparently those two games are vastly different. And then you have Splinter Cell Conviction, and then I think afterwards is Blacklist, I think is the last one. But yeah, I like stealth games. And the reason I was like, oh, I like stealth games so much, let me revisit the Metal Gear Solid games. Let me play some Metal Gear Solid 3. I genuinely forgot how that game plays, where I was just like confused of like just controlling the game. I was like, whoa, the controls feel weird for Metal Gear Solid 3. But that game, I remember I really had such a fun time with it. And it's funny because the first time I played that game was on the PS Vita. So it's just like, I never played it on console. But I don't know, because of this like Metal Gear Solid Master Collection that's coming out, I had an urge to replay through the Metal Gear games. I don't know like why it's such a big urge, but I just kind of want to revisit them. Even though that, that collection is coming out in like 5 more months, I think. I don't know, I just kind of don't want to wait, or kind of get my knowledge up to date, and then, eventually stream all the Metal Gear games. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed that that port is not fucking broken, because Konami has a tendency to put out broken shit. And the other thing that I'm currently playing is the System Shock remake. I'm like a good couple hours into it. Have you ever played System Shock?
No. I saw you talk about playing it though in the Discord.
So it's an interesting game. I never played the originals, but I keep seeing gameplay for the original System Shock. It's very dated. So this remake kind of helps with its visual. I know a lot of people didn't like the visual style of this game. I kind of dig it, where it's like 3D environments, but your character is like somewhat voxels. Like you look somewhat pixelated, and it's like, and some of the enemies look somewhat pixelated, but they're also like 3D models. It's a very interesting art style that they went for, and I kind of dig it. But System Shock in general is one of those games where it's like you're exploring a lot, and there are a lot of secrets and shit that you're not gonna get at the beginning. Like you're going to have to explore the entire space station to find certain secrets and stuff like that. But I am enjoying my time just exploring different levels to see how fucked up each level is compared to the the one previous. But the whole basis of System Shock is that an AI has gone rampant in a space station and has basically created like cyborg mutants and shit like that. So you're fighting off these mutants while also trying to find a way to stop this this AI Shodan. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. I'm not super far into the game. I know a lot of people have been like criticizing that the game is like still somewhat archaic in its gameplay because it's so big and the map is like really, I want to say it's confusing, but it's like it's a lot to take in. It's overwhelming. But I'm enjoying it. I'm kind of digging it. I like it. Trying to think anything else I'm playing. Tears of the Kingdom still going. I thought I was gonna beat it last stream. Didn't beat it last stream. Hopefully by sometime soon I'll be able to beat it. But I'm still enjoying my time with it. Funny enough,
No, I'd like to say again though how big that fucking map is and how beautiful that game is. So good.
It's so fucking huge. It's so huge. Because the other thing that I completely forgot about is like there's memory stuff that kind of unlocks if you find something. I don't know how to find the rest of the memories. But essentially the memories add a little bit more context as to like what's going on in the world or like what happened in like the past essentially. And it's funny because like I genuinely forgot about that until somebody came into the stream and was like, "Oh yeah, I just did all the memories. Like they're pretty good." And I'm like, "Oh damn, I forgot about that." And I'm like, I'm kind of nearing the end. But yeah, the stream was pretty fun. I streamed for like 7 hours. Because like I was so keen on because I thought I was like nearing towards the end of the game, but the game was like, "No, you still got shit to do. You remember the Master Sword? Yeah, go get that shit." So either way, Tears of the Kingdom, pretty fun. I just got the mech suit for this thing, or the robot. So that's been pretty interesting, but I want to get this game done so I can play fucking Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, yeah, Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah. But besides that, I think that's basically it for what I've watched and what I've played.
It's a decent amount to play in this week or the 2 weeks. Sorry.
Yeah. Like I knew June was gonna be rough when it came to fucking releases and shit. Because for me, it was Street Fighter 6, Diablo, and then Final Fantasy 16. So
yeah, that's true. I mean, there's always one that'll take priority, though.
Yeah.
Like everyone has that one priority game.
Because Breath of the Wild, because Tears of the Kingdom came out like in it was last month, right? May. Yeah, it came out May.
Yeah, it's such a big game though. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Like most people are probably going to be on that for 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, if you're putting it like really on and off, yeah, it's gonna take you a while.
I mean, I'm talking like people that like. There's people that like don't play games like gamers do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
like gamers.
Yeah, because it's like the world, like you said, the world is so fucking big, but then you have the fucking the depths, which is just it's the same size as the map, and it's an underground section. And then there's stuff above where you can like just explore a little bit, and the endless possibilities of creating vehicles and all this other shit with it. It's just and all the secrets and the side quests. It's like there's a lot to do. But Final Fantasy 16, I want to get to it. I gotta beat this game. Yeah. So that's it for me. Nothing else. So with that, you want to run through all this news? Get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way? What do you mean? It's in the way? How could media be in our way?
I don't know. Do you want me to tell you how it's in our way, or would you like to not have me tell you?
Did you like the dog I sent in Discord?
I didn't see the dog.
Isn't he cute? He has an underbite.
Oh yeah, never mind. I saw that dog. That's cute.
His little underbite. I love it so much. Yeah, I'm ready, bro.
All right, you ready for the news?
Yeah, I gotta hit the pin thing.
Okay.
All right, I'm here.
All right. So before we get into the biggest thing, there's a couple big things actually. Let's Let's see. All right. Actually, yeah, let's start with this biggest thing. So currently what's going on is the trial between the Federal Trade Commission and Microsoft. So it's still going on. I believe it's supposed to go on until the beginning of July. But so far, shout out to Tom Warren and shout out to Addie Robertson, who have been covering this whole thing over at The Verge. And also making it easy for me to have little bullet points. But I basically read like their updates throughout the course of the trial. Well, not the course of the trial, but like, when was it? I think it was Friday. I was reading through like what they were updating because they were there at the trial. So for day one, this is a recap of what was explained during the trial. They had a lot of big players over there. You know, Phil Spencer was there. They also had a recorded thing with Jim Ryan, the president, the chief of PlayStation. So here are some big things that happened during that first day. So PlayStation chief Jim Ryan knew Microsoft's acquisition deal wasn't about Xbox exclusives. So this counters the fact that Jim Ryan's whole complaint about saying that Microsoft wants exclusives only doesn't make sense, and it's not what he was talking about before. Because there was an email that I believe he sent out to other PlayStation people and talked about how, what happened? Did you say something?
I think my mic is clicking a little bit. I think it's my cord. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Wow. But basically, this whole thing counters because we talked about this before, where Jim Ryan was like, PlayStation is not going to get Call of Duty because Microsoft is going to have a monopoly over it. Do you remember this?
When the Call of Duty one, right?
Yeah, where basically PlayStation was like, oh, we're bringing this complaint now because Call of Duty is so big that Microsoft is going to not make any like copies of Call of Duty for PlayStation. Basically, the whole exclusivity thing was like the biggest takeaway that Jim Ryan had. But, you know, during this first day, there was an email that was revealed that Jim Ryan was like, oh no, I'm not worried about that. So that whole, you know, complaint was just a facade. The next key point is that Microsoft didn't want its games on GeForce Now initially. Quoting I forget who, I think it might have been Matt Booty or somebody saying no effing way. What this meant was that originally GeForce Now had some Microsoft games on it, but because Microsoft wanted to push out their cloud shit, and this was during the time where Microsoft had Bethesda games, GeForce Now had Bethesda games on there. So Microsoft saw that and was like, no, we're going to work out a deal where you're going to have to pay us to get those games on your thing. And now that's why there was a thing that I saw that like GeForce like is doing a advertisement of like, oh, we got Xbox games on here now, because obviously that was part of the deal. The next thing is that the Indiana Jones game is possibly an Xbox and PC exclusive. Oh, never mind. Not possibly. Is an Xbox and PC exclusive. This game was originally meant to be for both systems, for both PS5 and PS5. Excuse me. For both Xbox and PS5. But this was being done by Machine Head Games, which I believe is owned by ZeniMax or Bethesda. Either way, they were part of the whole merger shit with Bethesda. And then there was a little tiny bit of one of the Xbox executives being like, my dad loves Diablo and he's 76. And I was like, okay. And then this other thing of Activision forced Microsoft into a Call of Duty revenue deal. So during the whole talks of Microsoft acquiring Activision, Bobby Kotick was like, if you want us really badly and you want us to work, we're going to have to work out a completely new deal if you guys want Call of Duty to be a console exclusive to the Xbox. So Microsoft and Activision worked out a new deal for revenue. Let's see. Microsoft has agreed to 80-20 revenue splits for certain games. And then Microsoft was working on a separate dedicated version of Xbox Cloud Gaming. So that was day one of all these reveal. For day two, the FTC questioned Phil Spencer about Nintendo Switch, FPS teraflops, and lots more. So there was a whole thing that was happening on the second day where they were talking about the dominating console. And Microsoft was talking about how they're technically in the third place of the console war, quote unquote. And there was a lot of stuff being brought up about the Switch. There was a lot of back and forth about how if the Switch can even be considered part of this generation because of the fact of its hardware and what it's offering. And there was a whole back and forth between the FTC and Phil Spencer and Microsoft being like, what is the classification of a next-gen console? And it's like, okay, this is that. And it's like, all right, so is the Switch part of this current generation / next gen? And Phil Spencer's like, no, but you have to understand that there are games still coming out for the... Like, it was a whole thing that is just like, kept going around in circles of the FTC trying to prove a point of, you can't say you're in third place because the Switch is also a big dominating factor. You and Sony are the biggest competitors out there when it comes to generations of consoles of this current generation. So there was that. Phil Spencer is asked whether Xbox lost the console war, to which he responds that the console war is a social construct and he doesn't want to count the community out, but that Xbox is in third place. So there was, yeah, like I said before. Sony is an aggressive competitor that spends its revenue on doing things to try to reduce Xbox survival on the market, says Spencer. Spencer says Sony is actively signing third-party games to skip our platform as he is questioned over Microsoft's acquiring exclusive content. Microsoft has thought about skipping PlayStation for Activision games and even considered making Minecraft Dungeons Xbox exclusive. Sony held back PS5 dev kits, which put us behind on our development for Minecraft on PS5, says Spencer. So I didn't know that Minecraft doesn't have a dedicated PS5 version. But this is also part of Sony's concern. Because there was a whole questioning with Jim Ryan about, would you feel comfortable about letting other companies that have been acquired by Xbox for a PS6 dev kit, in which he responded no, because basically we don't know who these people talk to as their higher ups, so there is a chance that our dev kits could be leaked or just be told blatantly to Microsoft higher ups of what essentially Sony is cooking behind the curtains, and them plotting on like, all right, let's get better hardware out there to surpass PlayStation. So there's that. And then, like I said, there was also talks about Sony basically going out to third-party companies and buying exclusivity deals. Final Fantasy 16 is actually one of these exclusivity deals that they bought out. So there's that. An internal email chain between Xbox's Sarah Bond, Matt Booty, and Phil Spencer reveals how Microsoft planned to talk about the Bethesda acquisition as making Xbox stronger. So this email that was going around between those three people I believe Sarah Bond is like she's an executive for not marketing, but something for Xbox specifically, obviously. But they wanted to ensure the fact that they want their consumers to know that their acquisition, specifically for Bethesda, is like Xbox is working hand in hand with Bethesda in order to give consumers the best quality of video games. That was the whole thing. Phil Spencer won't confirm Elder Scrolls 6 is an Xbox exclusive, and it sounds like it still sounds like it's coming out many, many, many years away. There's that. Microsoft won't degrade Call of Duty on PlayStation, because there was also another thing that people were worried about. The FTC questioned Phil Spencer, asking whether or not he will be true to his word on the fidelity of certain games that they own, but will still release to PlayStation. Basically, having the idea that the Xbox version of a video game would be the best version to play because the Sony version or the PS5 version of this game would be significantly worse. So there was that whole idea of like, are you going to go back on your word on this and this and that? So, and then Spencer swears under oath that he won't put Call of Duty on, he won't pull Call of Duty from PlayStation. Microsoft found very limited success of making mobile games outside of Minecraft. Microsoft tried to buy Zynga to rectify its mobile market. Let's see. Microsoft acquired Bethesda after hearing Starfield would be a PlayStation exclusive. And let's see. Oh yeah, Phil Spencer talks about Apple and about how like Apple's market is like really fucked and how it doesn't really give them the opportunity to build a market on Apple products because of Apple's like interference with that. Microsoft and Sony discussed the Activision deal with positive affirmations from Sony's CEO. So like I said, Jim Ryan already knew about this whole thing happening, and like they were already on pretty good terms when Phil Spencer came to PlayStation to be like, hey, let's work out a deal, you know, if you guys want Call of Duty. And basically PlayStation was like, okay, like that's fine, we can work that out. But yeah, there's that. Spencer says Microsoft rivals have far more exclusives. Google's former Stadia product lead comes in. So there was that happens. There was a point in time where Google Stadia wanted to run on Windows, but the problem was that operating on Windows was basically the equivalent of working on a PlayStation 4. So basically they were really, really behind in the generation wars. And then the little interesting tidbit that I saw was that Google was willing to spend 5 years building AAA games for Stadia, but cost was so high. So that's why Stadia never really had any exclusives. And that was day 2. So day 3 is currently happening. So there was a little update from Wario64, basically saying that Microsoft considered acquiring Bungie and Sega to bolster Xbox Game Pass. And this was shown in an internal email. And the other thing is Microsoft's final watch list that they had was a little watch list that they have of other companies that they were interested in. Companies being Thunderful, Supergiant Games, Niantic, Playrix, Zynga, Bungie, IO Interactive, and Scopely. So Microsoft had plans on acquiring more shit. So there you go. Now you're up to date of what's going in the trial of the FTC versus Microsoft.
Now you know.
Now you know. So who will win? Epic rap battles of history.
I mean, it clearly sounds like their winner's already fucking drawn.
Yo,
Just
like fucking Phil Spencer was like, yo, FTC, you guys don't know what you're talking about, because there was a whole thing that basically Phil Spencer had to give like an economics like discussion about how certain acquisitions go. like basically talking about finances, and it was just wild because according to like Tom Warren updating, it was just like him getting frustrated that the FTC wasn't understanding what he was talking about when it came to acquisitions. So he just basically laid it down of like how this is how business works, and like we know you guys don't deal with business, but I'm big businessman.
He just keeps saying the word business. He's like business.
I know business. I know business. So there was that, but yeah, so basically we have to wait and see whether or not Microsoft will be able to get their shit. But the other thing is that I believe there's another trial date that's happening in August with Microsoft against another another thing that's happening. Shit, I forgot what
company.
Another government thing. Hold on. Hold on.
Hello?
Yes, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, I just heard you stop talking. I was like,
Yeah, because like they have another trial date for another thing, but basically this is the big one because the FTC is trying to block the acquisition. So there's that. All right, so moving on from that, Microsoft. Speaking of Microsoft, Microsoft is raising Xbox Series X and Game Pass prices.
mm-hmm.
So that's setting.
Wait, that Xbox Series X buying the system price?
Yes, it is going up in countries excluding the US, Japan, Chile, Brazil, and Colombia.
Okay, so we're not getting a price increase on that.
No, but we are getting a price increase on Game Pass.
Right, yeah.
So the markets, so the markets that are being excluded is Norway, Chile, Denmark, Switzerland, and Saudi Arabia for Game Pass. So the cost of Xbox Series X is going to go up in August 1st for £479.99 in the UK, and then €549.99 in most European markets, $649.99 in Canada, and $7.99 in Australia.
That's fucking. Woo.
Yeah, I mean, dollary dues in Australia is something.
I'm sorry. What the fuck did you just say?
Dollary dues?
No, it's not called that.
Yeah, it's called that.
Their fucking money is called dollary dues.
Yep. It's not.
Oh, okay. yo, I was like happy and just
Like-
fucking
like-
satisfied at the same time.
Like didgeridoo? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, because I watched like some like video game like reviewers who were like mostly Australian, and they just called dollary dues most of the time because it's just a joke. But yeah, from July 6th, the monthly price of Xbox Game Pass subscription for console will increase from $9.99 to $10.99. And then Game Pass Ultimate will increase from $14.99 to $16.99. And then PC Game Pass is not increasing because I remember they said that. But basically their whole reasoning for this is because according to the market, they have to increase prices. So
I mean, they don't have to, but if for sure, it I mean, a couple dollars here and there for the prices as far as like subscription to,
yeah.
You see shit go up $2 every once in a while. Netflix does their $1 increase or $2 increase every once in a while. That's not a big deal. I think like the biggest deal is the fucking console increase.
the fucking having to pay for the console. That's crazy. That shit pisses me off because like it's weird that something released a while ago is getting increased to. I don't know. I don't like
in
that.
other countries, it sucks. As I say, as I go to Walmart to buy my Xbox Series X.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand why it was released and now it has to be more money.
I think it's just dollar value, but I think it's just very bizarre to exclude certain countries because of that.
Right? Yeah. It's very weird. PlayStation did too, though. You know?
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's it for that. Speaking of shit that sucks, yo, that Secret Invasion titles opening.
I didn't watch this. Did you watch it?
I haven't seen it. All I saw was fucking Twitter going nuts when they were like, "Look at the fucking screenshots of the title opening for Secret Invasion," and it was confirmed by Disney that it is AI generated.
That's so weird. I don't know.
But basically, like, I understand the whole premise of it being really weird looking, but it's bad. It looks really bad, though.
I'm looking at that right now. It does not look cool or anything.
Yeah. I mean, you got
but at the same time, like, it's just the opening, you know?
AI generated fucking Samuel L. Jackson. I
mean, people are upset about it. Like, mad?
People were pretty pissed off, yeah.
It's not the show, though. It's just the opening.
The opening, and I think on top of that, the show was... I don't know when they started filming the show, but, like, there was also talks about it being, like, worked around when the writing strike was happening. So there's that. But, I don't know. I think those fucking images look bad. That's just me. That's just me, bro.
Yeah.
Speaking of other bad shit, we forgot to talk about this last week. Yuji Naka could be sentenced to 2.5 years in prison for insider trading.
Can we go over like how that's not that bad?
2.5 years?
It's only 2.5 years. I mean, don't get me wrong.
So
I don't think anybody wants to live in a box.
So here's the thing. Let me finish before we go on.
Okay, good.
2.5 years, and is also fined the American equivalent of $1.2 million.
Okay.
So he has to pay that fine.
What's he worth, though? Do you know?
I don't know, to be honest.
I would assume he's worth more than that. No?
I mean, his name's not good anymore.
Right, but I'm still sure he has money.
I would assume... I don't know, to be honest, because if he had a deal with insider trading this badly, I think he's really strapped for cash.
Yeah. I mean, if you could pay the money, it's not... I don't know. It's a lot of money, for sure.
Pay the money with his insider trading money.
Weirder shit's happen. You know?
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, basically, let's see. Prosecutor office ordered a fine for 2.5 million yen, which is $17,800 USD, and a supplementary penalty of 170 million yen, and that is equivalent of 1.2 million USD.
What is USD? Is it United States dick?
Dollar.
Oh, dollar.
Dollar.
Sorry.
No,
I thought it was
dick.
referring to genitalia. I'm so sorry.
Dicks. Hilarious enough, during that whole sentencing or like that whole talk during the court.
Did you watch it?
No. I'm just reading the article from
gotcha.
VGC. Basically the little thing that they added was Yuji Naka showed no signs of remorse.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
I
don't know. I guess there is a certain amount of like fuckery with that comes with it, but like
you think the man that made Balan Wonderland has remorse?
Yeah, looking at this dumb fucking photo they have of him, he's wearing the dumb hat.
The dumb hat.
So stupid.
He has no remorse.
You know what? He deserves 4 years in jail for that fucking game.
Hey, man.
Put him in there longer.
I was about to say, like, he pleads guilty to all charges, so
He
Yeah.
shows no remorse, and he was like, yo, is this Blackbird? Is he going in there blackbirding people, bro?
Yeah, he's gonna find the equivalent, the Japanese equivalent of that serial killer, where he talks like,
I can't do the
yeah,
voice for fucking. I also
Watashi
just
no.
did a bunch of Japanese gibberish, which is
Yeah,
probably fucked up. I'm
it's very
sorry.
offensive. I'm canceling you.
Yeah, didgeridoo, do, dollary
That's all
dues.
you do. Yeah, that's Yuji Naka. Good luck, Yuji. Tell them about Balin in prison.
Yeah, try to write a sequel,
tell,
bitch.
tell them about how you created Sonic. Cool. Uh, speaking of canceled shit, PS3 exclusive Metal Gear Solid 4 was once running beautifully on Xbox 360. This is a quote from the game's assistant producer that says that the issue as to why they weren't able to produce Xbox versions of MGS4 is because it would have taken 4 discs to get this game on Xbox. And I forgot that is one of the problems of the 360 is that it was using DVDs rather than.
They didn't have cool Blu-rays like we did.
Yeah,
Us
exactly.
PlayStation boys.
Yeah, so PlayStation boys had the Blu-rays while Xbox bitches had had the DVDs. But this kind of makes me interested into seeing like if Konami still has this code, is possibly the version that they're going to use for MGS4 when it comes in the second volume collection, because there was leaks that happened regarding to the code of the second volume, which revealed that MGS4 is one of those games. And for years, Metal Gear Solid 4 was one of the games that was talked about being hard to port to anything else because of the fact that it was a game that was running on the architecture of PS3. And because the PS3 was so fucky and so wonky that MGS4 was difficult to port. So yeah, I'm just curious whether or not Konami still has this version and is possibly the version that they're going to use for the remasters. So who the fuck knows? Speaking of who the fuck knows, yo, E3 canceled for next year and the year after? Get hyped? Yeah, E3 canceled for next year and 2025. So
Yeah, I mean,
has
I
to be
don't
expected,
know.
yeah.
Who cares?
I mean, we've been talking about the inevitable death of E3. So
It
I mean,
hasn't felt necessary for a couple years, I think. I think the last time I really was like hyped for E3 was like maybe 2016 or something like that.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
when COVID hit, I mean, fucking conventions obviously started to like really. Well, most conventions just canceled on a lot of the events. So, but with now, like in the video game space, a lot of like video game companies are just having their own, little showcase and stuff like that. So they didn't really feel the need to go to E3 and be like, hey, check out our game. It's like, no, here's a demo that you can just check out, or here's some gameplay, or here's a trailer for a game that we're coming up with, or Xbox, or even with Summer Games Fest, where Jeff Kiwi just comes out on stage being like, check out this shit from Microsoft, or check out this
Yeah.
shit from Sony.
Honestly, man, they could just post on IGN and be like, here's all the games coming out, and I'll be like, cool, man, I don't give a fuck about any of them except for
Yeah.
2.
I mean,
you know?
the one thing about E3 is that you can try the demos, obviously. That was the biggest appeal of E3, was
Yeah.
actually trying out the hardware and the software. But
Yeah.
so far, yeah, there's really no point to even have E3. But who knows? Who the hell knows? All right.
Yeah.
The other big thing is that Nintendo had its own direct this week. So there's some things. This is not in order, but Fuck it. Let me start at the bottom. The bottom thing is Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharge. I still haven't played the first one.
Yeah, I fucking remember when you were like shitting your pants. You were like, "This is gonna be."
That's
I
so
fucking love
cool.
Hot Wheels. Get me pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was J. Jonah Jameson over this fucking Hot Wheels game.
No, you were stoked about it. I don't know. I think like they're probably fun games.
Yeah, I hear good things about them. But the sequel's coming out, so the sequel will be coming over to Switch in October. Next thing is Maniac Mechanics, which is essentially the game Overcooked, but with building mechanical things. So yeah, that's going to be released on July 13th this year. Next thing is Gloomhaven, coming to Switch. This thing already is out, but it's coming to Switch on September.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look dumb.
No. Headbangers Rhythm Royale is coming to the Switch on October. So if you like pigeons and Wario-like mini games,
Yeah.
Speaking of Wario, well, we'll get to that. Silent Hope, let's see, is a RPG coming out in October 3rd, where it's these little chibi characters that don't talk, and yeah, they gotta save a kingdom because some asshole king was like, let me take the people's ability to talk. Yeah, Fae Farm. Yeah, Fae Farm got a little bit shown, so got to get some Fae Farm, and that's
if this is anything like
Stardew.
What's that game called? No. I don't know. This is a farming sim. I don't know. I can't remember the name. Old farming games, really liked them. If it's similar, I'll probably actually buy that.
I mean, you turn into a fairy.
Nope.
Okay. This was the other thing I completely forgot to talk about during my week. Steam's demo fest was happening. I only got to try 2 demos. I tried a demo for this game called Paleo Pines, that's what it was. Essentially it's a farming sim with dinosaurs. It's cute, but I was just like, yeah, I get the idea, and I just
was it good?
I didn't play all of it, but I'm like, I already got the gist. It's cute. But the thing that I completely played was Eternights or Eternights, which is it's not in Japanese, it's Korean. This Korean action game. It's very anime. It's very jank, to be fair. It's trying to do like a lot of Persona social link stuff where, you know, anything you say to a specific character like increases your bond with them or decreases. And yeah, it was jank.
Persona Sneaky Link.
Yeah, it was Persona May Cry, essentially. All right, so back to the Nintendo Direct. Penny's Big Breakaway is a new platformer by the people behind Sonic Mania.
I mean, yeah, cool. So that's great.
Yep. So that's coming out sometime soon. Palia
is cozy.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah. Is a free-to-play adventure sim. That looks like a farming thing, but who knows? Just Dance had their thing again. Splatoon 3's next Splatfest is happening. And they're what is it? Players have to choose whether vanilla, strawberry, or mint chip is the best ice cream flavor.
Wait, no chocolate? Fuck.
Yeah, that's why everybody was like, "What the fuck? Why did you not put chocolate?"
Well, vanilla trumps both of those, by the way, or all three of those.
I'm a chocolate person, but that's just me.
I would go chocolate too, but I'm not allowed to choose it apparently. Oh, I can't do what I want to do.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Mint chip. I'm gonna go with mint chip.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope is getting their new DLC. That was announced, and you could try out the demo for the game. So that's that.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go play the demo.
Go play the demo. Myth Force is a Saturday morning cartoon roguelike coming to the Switch. So get excited for that. Persona 5 Tactica gets some new gameplay. Looks alright. That's coming out November 17th this year. And then Star Ocean, the second story R, announced for 2023, which is a remake of the second Star Ocean game. And it's using the 2D, 3D look. So, and I think it looks pretty, I think it looks kind of cool. I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of like things online of people just disliking the 2D, 3D art. And I think I personally think it looks pretty good. But, you know, there will always be people that have their opinions as to visual aesthetics, things like that. Speaking of visual aesthetics, Batman Arkham Trilogy is coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Bro, did you fucking read the thing about this?
Not really.
The thing, Jesus, I'm sorry, small brain currently. They were saying, it's an IGN article, that the physical copy only has one game on the cartridge. The other two have to be digital for some reason.
That's been Switch the whole time. Anything the Switch offers as like 2 games in one, it's usually not on the same cart.
Okay. I just know that there was an article written up about it specifically for this, so.
Yeah, no, that Switch overall. That's why, I mean, this kind of brings back to the whole thing of the FTC with Microsoft being like, is Switch part of this new generation of consoles? Because it doesn't seem like it.
That's pretty funny, actually.
But that's the thing, is that like Resident Evil had a whole thing like that where it's like the Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6, you get, I think it was 4 on cart, but the other 2 games you have to download. And then Switch has another problem where it's like certain games you would have to down an additional amount of like memory for it to work. I think Wolfenstein was like that. But no, the thing that I noticed for this was that it was showing the trailer of being like, oh, here comes the Arkham trilogy. I kind of feel bad for Arkham Origins, but done by a different team. So I guess that's the reasoning as to why no Arkham thing has included Arkham Origins, but either way. But they were showing this trailer and I was like, huh, that doesn't look like it's going to be on Switch, because like the obvious graphical fidelity was really high. And I was like, not a lot of Switch games look that like well.
Right.
So then when the trailer ended, there was a little thing at the bottom that says gameplay not final, like gameplay footage not final. And I'm like, oh, I mean, obviously it's still in development, but like they're telling you that it's like this shit's gonna look different when it comes out. So I don't know. If you want to play Batman on the go, sure. I like Batman. But
I mean,
Arkham Knight is just like, how the fuck is that gonna run on fucking Switch?
brings it to more people is what it is, and Nintendo's always looking for more sources of income or revenue from these things, you know? So, I don't know. Just remember, companies don't care about you.
That's
so
true.
when you're going to buy these games, they more specifically are worried about, will you buy them?
Mm.
And if the answer is, even if it looks bad, they're still going to buy it, they don't care. So
Yeah.
they will sell it to you.
That's true. That is true.
It's gonna run like shit on the Switch. It's gonna run like shit. It's gonna look like shit.
Well, I
think
mean,
there's gonna be a lot of annoyances.
The one thing that was a big surprise was The Witcher 3 on Switch, where it actually runs pretty decently. But
Does it?
It runs pretty decently. Not like I don't think a full 60, but
No, there's no way it could run at 60.
No,
Not on the Switch.
some Switch games don't really have the ability to run at 60. Unless I'm probably wrong. There maybe is one Switch game out there that runs at 60, but it doesn't really come to mind.
I don't know, man. I just hope when they make a Switch 2 or whatever the fuck they call it, the Wii 3, the Wii with 3 eyes.
Yeah.
That
would be cool.
Would it be cool? Hopefully they increase its fucking capacity to do anything.
Yeah, because like wow, god damn it. Tears of the Kingdom being big runs at a somewhat steady 30 frames. I've seen a lot of like frame dips a lot, but because the world is so huge, it's like it's understandable why it's at 30 frames because it would probably
that thing would tank.
Yeah, that thing would die if it tries to reach 60 with that amount of shit going on in the background.
That thing would get to the Titanic crack and implode.
Yeah, jeez. Speaking of imploding, Sonic Superstars. Some more gameplay was shown, so if you like Sonic, go ahead. Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, which is basically a Dragon Quest Pokemon game, has been announced.
Okay.
Yep.
That sounds dumb as shit.
It's kind of like Pokemon and Shin Megami Tensei because you get to fuse the monsters to create a new
Shin
monster.
Megami Tensei is so bad, dude.
You don't even know, bro.
I fucking hate it. Vampire Survivors coming?
Yep, to the Switch this August with couch co-op.
My brother loves this game. There's co-op?
Couch co-op. That's what it says.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
With up to 4 players.
Oh, damn. Now I'm going to play with my other brother, too. That kind of sucks.
All right. Well, speaking of things that suck, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon Remaster announced with a Princess Peach game.
Oh, cool.
So if you've never played Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, it's coming out.
Why'd you say that sucks?
Actually,
was the second one bad?
No, a lot of people don't really regard the second one as like a good Luigi's Mansion game.
Gotcha.
I remember I tried playing it on 3DS and I couldn't click with it. I really couldn't. And that's the thing is that I liked the first one and I really loved the third one, but the second one I just could not get into. Let's see. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe adds a new course alongside Petey Piranha, Wiggler, and Kamek. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Hidden Treasure of Area Zero expansion has been shown. So, more Pokemon.
Yeah, now you get expansions on your Pokemon.
More expanding the Pokemon.
Oh my god, we could just skip the next one, bro. It's fucking trash. Don't need to worry about it.
Fucking go!
Shut the fuck. You do not genuinely like these things. You do not genuinely like these things. You don't. You don't like it. There's no way.
Let's go, Pikmin. Pikmin.
Move to Japan, you piece of shit.
Pikmin. Pikmin 1 and 2 are released for the eShop. There's a physical version coming out in September, which I pre-ordered because there's that. Some more gameplay of Pikmin 4 has been shown with some more details and some gameplay. I like your little dog friend Ochi. He's very cute. He's very adorable. And then you can have Dendori fights with other weirdos. So there's that. Demo is coming out on June 28th, and the game is coming out, I believe. Yep, on the 21st of July. So, Pikmin, baby. As some people would say, the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Woo! All right. WarioWare Move It is the next Wario game. WarioWare coming out on November 6th. So you do your shaking, shake your butt with Wario. Let's see. More amiibos are coming out for Tears of the Kingdom. I have my Link amiibo, but the amiibos that are coming out is for Ganondorf and Zelda. Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 1 has been confirmed for Switch, and we also get the date that it's coming out on, which is October 24th. So I'm gonna double dip. I'm gonna buy
Really?
I'm gonna buy the PS5 version, and then I'm gonna get the Switch version.
Really?
That's just me, baby. I love the Metal Gears, you know. Nah, I
Which
mean,
version? I could never.
So this is- so this is the
play
thing.
on Switch.
I'm going to wait until the game comes out to see whether or not the ports are good ports or if they've been botched. Because if they've been botched, I'm not fucking touching that thing.
Yeah, I'll be careful with the Switch one for sure.
Yeah, there's that. But I mean, the game, the Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3 ran fucking great on the Vita, man. So
Is that ancient lost technology?
yeah, ancient PlayStation technology. Only the Sumerians know about the PlayStation Vita.
Oh, the Sumerians. That's what's in the bag they're carrying.
Yeah. Did you know Vita in Sumerian? Actually, there's no. It's not Sumerian.
Vita in Sumerian means big nuts. Did
Yeah.
you know that?
Did you know that? Let's see. Detective Pikachu 2 coming to Nintendo Switch in October. Funny enough, I was listening to the voice of Detective Pikachu. That's the voice of Ichiban Kasuga from Yakuza 7.
God, you're wrong. It's Ryan Reynolds, obviously.
All right, that's Danny DeVito.
No, it's Ryan Reynolds in the movie.
No, in the game. In this
Yeah,
fucking
and
game.
Ryan Reynolds in the game. You're right.
All right. Well, anyway, speaking of me being right, I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know why I'm segueing like this. Super Mario RPG remake announced for this year. I
You
pre-ordered
are
that.
right. This is dope as fuck.
I pre-ordered this because I'm like, I never played Super Mario RPG, and I hear it's pretty good. And then seeing this,
Wait, you never played it?
never played it.
Bro,
Never
it's so good.
Never played it.
You're gonna hate it.
Cool.
I have a feeling, because I love this game so much, I have a feeling you're gonna be like, it's mediocre. And I'm gonna be like, bro, I'm
I'm gonna be
gonna
like,
choke you with my feet.
it's Mario. But no, I think it looks neat. I mean, obviously, I like RPGs, so I'm willing to play this. You know.
They also got the composer back that did the original, and he's gonna redo.
Yeah,
this one.
that was the thing, is that like, a lot of people were talking about during this trailer is that like a lot of the music has been redone. So
It sounds so good.
that's interesting. So get hyped for that Mario RPG.
I'm so excited, so I'll be disappointed for some reason.
Yeah. But the last thing that they showed is a brand new 2D Mario game. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And that's coming out in October. And what's so wonder about Wonder?
Elephant Mario.
Elephant Mario.
Yes.
Which means Elephant Luigi, Toad, Princess Peach, Princess Daisy, and Yoshi.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't actually think about
Get
that. Everyone
hyped.
else is going to be an elephant too.
So, yep. And people were freaking out because Princess Daisy shows up. So, yeah.
She's a princess?
Princess Daisy? Yeah,
She has a crown?
I believe so.
Is she better than Peach?
Then Peachy Poo? I don't know. Is Princess Daisy voiced by Anya Taylor-Joy? No? Okay.
Is she?
No.
Oh.
Well, Anya Taylor-Joy plays Princess Peach. So.
In what?
In the Mario movie.
Did she?
Yeah. Chris Pratt.
Sorry,
was
TikTok
Mario.
didn't give me all the information when I was watching a movie on TikTok.
It's alright, Chris Pratt as Mario. That's all you need.
Woohoo!
He says,
Yippee!
yeah, and then he's like, let's go.
I'm tired of the plumbing.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm here. I'm a Mario. All right, that's it for the news. I'm fucking tired, but
If you take anything away from this whole thing, go watch Lupin the Third, the First.
All right, if you take anything away from this, don't do insider trading unless you end up like Yuji Naka. Interstellar made me tear up.
Fucking God.
It's not Ad Astra, like some people would say. And the final thing is corporations don't care about you. They don't care about you. They just care about your money. They don't love you. stop showing loyalty to corporations. Anyways,
Mm.
Pikmin, let's go, baby.
Slams the off button.
Pikmin, Pikmin. All right.
That's so bad.
I like the third game. I was playing the demo for the third game. I didn't boot it up because I was like, oh, I'll play this eventually. And then fucking Pikmin 4 got announced, and then Pikmin 1 and 2 got announced, and I was like, fuck. I guess I'll just play the first one, but I pre-ordered the physical release, and I'm just like, all right, gotta wait until fucking September till this shit comes out.
Yeah. I always forget you like Pikmin, and then I always get disappointed again.
That's the thing, is that like I liked the demo. I really liked that demo. I was like, oh shit, this is actually really fun. I was playing the demo for the third game, and I have the third game on Wii U, but I never touched it. And then, you know, the fucking shit with Switch is like, oh yeah, all these Wii U games fucking coming to Switch. Don't worry about it. Don't touch your fucking Wii U ever again. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm fine with this. I'm cool with this. But the only Switch game that's, the only Wii U game that hasn't come to Switch is fucking Xenoblade Chronicles X. But I don't know if that'll ever come to Switch. But, you know, I still got my Wii U. All right. We out. We outie. Bye-bye.
Bye.